My favorite part is that awkward silence when I hit that go live button. Everyone's like, oh, I gotta be quiet now. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome officially to the return of the Nerds of Wrestling podcast. Let me make sure I'm signed in to Twitch so I'm earning some of that sweet, sweet nerd cred, which you can earn by watching any of our streams live on Twitch every time we go live. All you gotta do is click that notifications button to get alerted. But ladies and gentlemen, let's kick things off right. I got this little button to click here to welcome everybody, and then we can get going.
The following announcement has been paid for by the
nOw.
That's right, the Nerds of Wrestling are back, and we have guests for the first time in the history of the show. Several guests, actually. Fun fact, this show started out as the 3-Second Tan, and then we found out somebody had done like 3 podcasts with that name, so we didn't want to use it. Nightfall, thanks for the sub. So yeah, we ended up changing, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to mess around with the NWO logo and call it the Nerds of Wrestling. And then the Nerds of Wrestling was born. So there's your backstory. Welcome. It's been a while since we've done this, but we're back. Queen, you can still join. I'm in our Discord. We put an announcement out there. So we got DC up in the top left there. What's up, DC? Oh, it got shifted around. You're no longer in the top left. You're now in the middle. Top middle. Now in the top left, we have him best known as Jacob Evans, but he's Crazy Chris.
Hello. How are we? Crazy.
Top right, we got Garmer in the house. What's up, G-Man? Hello, G-Man. Yeah. Bottom left, we got rated 11-time NAW champion. He waves.
Yo.
He waves for a vocal podcast.
What can I say?
TV will end up.
And then we got the man right above me. The man of the hour. He's never sour. Every week on Thursdays, he brings the power. Ty.
Damn, I wish I had that kind of introduction.
But he's the current
It's
champ.
Delicious. Hey, I'm technically a current champ.
It's me.
No one cares about you, DC. Shut up.
Damn, Jesus.
And it's not
See
you.
how it
It's Selena, not DC. Ty is Ty. Okay?
Yeah.
Ty is Ty.
We all love Tyler.
There's no other guy.
Well,
Ty is
just
Ty,
Ty.
and there's no other guy.
It's true.
there's
There's
no other guy. That is
That's not a
Ty.
guy.
And Smiles did win a guy, though.
Maybe.
No idea.
But we're here this
I wouldn't
week.
count on it.
We're here
really
this
wouldn't
week to
count on
talk
it.
about WrestleMania 39. At this point, it aired 8 days ago now. It was you do see a top 15 list. That is right, Thunderbird. We're going to talk about that. Let's talk about wrestling. So, WrestleMania 39 aired over 2 nights, April 1st, April 2nd, 2023, from SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, California. We got, you said Triple says it was trash. Damn. So, we're going to get to that. Right out the bat, it was trash. They said it was predictable. So, we're going to get to that too. So, we're going to rank the matches, and we're going to go in order of how the show aired. So, we're going to start things off and break down all of our opinions collectively for Austin Theory and John Cena for the United States Championship. That thing kicked off the show. Austin Theory with a okay entrance, like a thing raised behind, or like on the stage, like a door raised. That was kind of cool. And like John Cena granted like 300 more wishes on stage. So his opening was better, in my opinion. But what do you guys think? How do you feel about that one kicking off the show? And somebody's listening to us too. You got to mute the stream if you're gonna. We're gonna have echo. What do you guys think, though?
Who would like to start? I feel like we should have some order.
Probably.
Anybody
Start-
chime in
I'll
if you got an
start.
opinion. Go for it, Ty.
Yeah, I'll start. Honestly, I feel like the match was not. It was a good show opener because it didn't have the crowd too hot or too burnt out heading into the rest of the card. It was a big name like John Cena, and it was nice to see him grant all those wishes. But I feel like I raised my hopes up too high with it being John Cena. I expected a really long, well, not long, just a more tightly contested match. But I feel like once the bell rang and the first couple of moves were exchanged, I was no longer confused or even questioning who was going to win, and that was Austin Theory.
So it's like you just kind of got settled in after the opening hype, and like, because it wasn't just boom, Mania started and this match started. It took a good 20 minutes to get to this match with all the ceremony, musical, the announcements, promos. I mean, The Miz and Snoop Dogg. There was a lot going on before we finally got to the first match. And keep in mind too, to my understanding, there were no dark matches this year whatsoever. So, like, it took a while with the 2-hour pre-show to get to a match finally.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it could have been better. I feel, in a sense, it felt like they weren't going to have Cena lose with a whole bunch of the kids out on the stage coming out and all that stuff. But he still lost. And I don't know. I feel it could have been better. But, I mean, overall, it was still a good match.
It clocked in at 11 minutes and 20 seconds. So what Ty was kind of touching on too, it wasn't very long as far as a match length.
Yeah.
It felt pretty fast.
That's the thing too, is like we're used to when we have a John Cena match, we're used to a good back and forth for a good amount of time. You know, granted, yeah, he's a part-timer now, and you know, he's trying to get his one match in every year, you know, type of thing. But like I said, it could have been better by it extending to be a little longer, but we got what we got, and he's still the champion, which I can see him still being the U.S., you know, champion, but he needs to be able to move up more, I feel.
So some people in chat...
He has that caliber.
It's true. Some people in chat mentioned, too, as a passing of the torch. If you look back, the last time they did a Hollywood theme, Cena was still coming up, you know, in the ranks. We're talking at WrestleMania 21. WrestleMania 20, if we go back even further, he opened up that as contender for the U.S. Championship as well. Emmett says people want to join. But they got to hop in the Discord. We're live right now. We put this out there 8 hours ago.
Yeah, he puts the cams up.
I feel like, you know, it was a decent match. I got into it. You know, I feel like exactly like Ty, you know, you got into the match after. I think they kind of did John dirty with the ending. I wish they did it in a different way, more of like someone interfered instead of knocking out the ref. But
yeah,
I mean,
how do you keep the heel heat going though with Theory though?
Like, you know, maybe brass knuckles or, you know, something different. You know, or a count out, you know, or something, walking away from John Cena saying that, you know, that he's not worth it or something like that, you know, kind of.
But a count out kind of like, to like build off of that, a count out doesn't help Theory though. It makes him look like a chicken.
True.
It
And I
already
think
really is, isn't it, though?
yeah,
the low blow didn't help either.
I think the low blow leading into like the finish and all that, I think that helps him be more of a heelish character without making him necessarily like running away from the match, but still in the sense putting him over Cena, if that makes sense.
I feel like it would have done more for his character if he beat Cena clean in a more
100%
contested
would
match. Yeah,
100%.
like Cena lost from one finisher.
Yeah.
But Cena's
that didn't
also,
make sense to me.
he's also not in the prime of his career anymore, to be honest.
You know, I thought about that too, because you talk about some of Cena's last matches over these last few years. We had that squash from The Undertaker at Mania, you know, a while back. But he also put on a damn good match against Roman Reigns. What was it, at SummerSlam about a year and a half ago?
Yeah.
I think it was SummerSlam, yeah.
What about the tag team with Kevin Owens?
Right.
It was the SummerSlam, and then Brock returned, and then Brock got in a feud with him after he beat Cena.
Right. So not last year's SummerSlam, but the year prior. And he put on a decent match at that one. So it's been kind of a mixed bag. And yeah, people are saying he's getting older, but like, it's John Cena. It's big match John. Like,
I think
he can still do it. He can still do it.
I think he's been looking at more like I mean, at least if I were seeing, I'd be looking at all the other like legend matches that we've had so far. I mean, like, look what happened with Taker and I think it was Taker and Kane versus DX. That crap show.
Well, I mean, that's the
Then
one that had
Goldberg.
HBK carry it when he had no business being the one carrying that damn match.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Taker versus Goldberg. Like, you got to think he's got a legacy to upkeep there. So he's probably like,
I just don't feel that this match did either people involved in it any favors. While on paper, yes, Theory beat Cena at Mania. But the match itself, I don't think does either of them any
do
favors.
anything.
No.
no. I think it was good that Theory went over regardless. Just, I think they could have booked it better.
What do you think
I feel like-
Theory's going after? What do you think his next steps are? Especially with beating him.
I honestly thought I thought
can't-
they were going to do a Raw call up for like Breaker or something and have him immediately beat Theory for the title.
Well, there
And then
is
Theory
a
moves
draft, so that's an interesting thing that's happening now.
Theory
The
moves
draft
over to
is
SmackDown, maybe.
the draft is happening, so that could change a lot up.
Maybe Theory moves over to SmackDown, Imperium moves over to Raw.
Yeah,
Probably. I mean, never know what the
Because
draft.
I can't see them splitting up Imperium this early.
No, and they
But
should.
then again, Vince is in charge again, so it's
Well, yes and no. I heard he's not supposed to be in Seattle tonight for Monday Night Raw either. So I think that was kind of him showing his imposement that he still has authority, even though his authority is not that great in the grand scheme of
That's
things. I think it was
annoying,
around like
to be honest.
17%. So I don't know. I think it was just him with the big sale having to be involved to put people in place. But last week, Friday, and then tonight, Triple H is in charge for creative again, and Vince isn't even there, from my understanding, from what I read. Anyways, obviously, I don't know.
So
But-
I think that the group consensus here on the first match is that the right winner was Theory, but the way we got there was absolutely incorrect.
Yeah,
absolutely.
because the match did nothing for either of them. So,
The match was bad. The result was good.
yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
100%.
So, by default, we'll put that, as mentioned, as our number one here.
Won't
So,
last long.
it probably
That's a
won't.
good night.
It
So,
won't.
for those trying to join the call right now, it is on live stream Twitch. Phillips, you're in the wrong one. You're in the community one. You got to go to the one right above it. It shows our names.
No.
I think that they need to get their roll thing changed.
Oh, that's why I told you guys to reach out. So we're not doing this while we're on air.
Not Daniel. The result was good though. Theory was definitely the better one to go over.
Yeah, well, Theory, of
'Cause
course, has to
putting-
be the one to go over.
Yeah, because putting Cena over does nothing for him whatsoever, or Theory. That just makes Theory look like a chump.
Philly. Always, always, always. Philly's welcome.
So you guys could talk while I'm trying to fix them.
Yeah.
Oh, we're still live.
Yeah, we're still live.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
safe.
so,
I don't know.
Are we still live?
Still
What?
alive.
He just fucking ends the live stream to add more people.
right.
All right. So what's
but-
the topic
like-
now?
Oh, we could
I
still
think
finish
we
talking
will be
about that
moving
one.
on to match 2 now.
Yeah, no, Theory was the right one to win.
Definitely.
Could
I
have
think
gone
that
at
Theory
least a little longer.
definitely could have.
Says
It could have
One finisher.
definitely.
So every
Yeah,
time-
one finisher. Yeah, I didn't like that. I think that there should have been multiple AAs and a few ATLs before that match ended.
there was a lot of
at
there
least
was
they
a lot of
should've ended it with-
STOs. They did do his submission a lot for John Cena.
In all
I
fairness,
don't
though.
think-
Sorry, Ty. In all fairness, though, there's not a lot of very protected finishers much anymore in like WWE. Like the most recent protected finisher I could even think of is End of Days, and McIntyre kicked out of that one. So I think
And
it's just a
then-
matter of
we also had the Samoan spike that's fairly protected.
Yeah, they've been protecting that one pretty well.
Yeah, the 1D from the Usos. Sammy and KO were the first to kick out of that at WrestleMania.
Let's
Yeah,
talk about
but
that later.
like even that, just like single finishers, like there's not really many protected ones nowadays. So like having Cena taken out by one, that makes the move a little bit better, look a little bit better at least.
Yeah, I would say that, like
maybe
a few more SIGs, maybe, but the finisher definitely needs to be
multiple attempts. Like
That
multiple attempts where it gets reversed. That would be nice.
Especially because his is very reversible.
Yeah.
Can we hear you, Philly? We can't hear you, dude.
I can't hear Phillips.
Yeah. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the show. We'll figure out why Philly can't get a...
It actually looks like his car.
He always does that.
And it is iRob also joining us. What is up? What is up?
You guys hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
I hear a voice.
Jeez. So we got iRob and Philly joining us. Can we hear you, iRob?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I can hear you.
No. All right, so we just concluded the Austin Theory John Cena match, placing that the best match of the show thus far.
Yep.
By default. Let's talk about, expand more on this Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match. Street Profits, Alpha Academy, Braun Strowman, Ricochet, Viking Raiders. Came in at 8 minutes, 30 seconds. I'll
Was 8 minutes and 30 seconds too long?
Yeah.
No.
It was a fun match. I don't think it was a bad one. I mean, I think it did what it set out to do. I mean, it was literally called the WrestleMania Men's Showcase.
Yes, the Men's WrestleMania Showcase.
I think it did what it was supposed to do. It showed off. It showed off the people it needed to show off. Montez and Dawkins picked up the win. That's all you can really say. Gable and Otis looked good.
I mean, the right team won.
Tag team. Yeah, they put them into the tag team title for next pay-per-view already, you know what I mean?
I mean, is that what this is for? Kind of putting him in that position?
I think that's what I'm thinking, so.
Because they didn't formally announce that there was anything on the line.
If I was gonna, I'll butt in there I just found, because I find news occasionally when I'm just scrolling through. Rumor has it with the draft coming up, the Street Profits are getting split.
You know, they've been saying that for a year, though.
I know, but
I feel like
Montez Ford is primed for it, but if they split him up, it'll be the end of Dawkins because he's not.
That's what I've been saying.
And
I think
I disagree with that move.
So what do they turn Montez heel then?
I think Montez would turn face. I think they both stay face, just they be on separate shows.
I don't like that move.
Like a brand split. Yeah, that's probably the best way to do it. There's no way to. There's no point in turning one heel.
But Dawkins gets buried in the process.
100%.
It's like, what's that other tag team?
Because Ford has the charisma and like the in-ring capabilities and the mic skill to pretty much be a future world champion. Dawkins, I don't know. Like he hasn't shined out of that duo. Like they're both great.
I feel like Dawkins is just really underrated because and that's the issue. Is because he's underrated, Dawkins will not end up doing well by himself. That's just the sad truth of it. But I'm not a fan of breaking up the Street Profits just for him to get his solo run.
Well, here's the thing. I'm going to back Ty on that sentiment. I'm not a fan of it either, and it's not needed. It's not necessary. Did they break up the New Day?
Keep them together.
Did they break up the New Day with Kofi? Did they break up the New Day with Big E? No. Yes. You don't need... No, they didn't. You don't need to break them up.
No.
They did brand split.
Rip Holland broke up
They
Big
did
E.
brand split them, yes, but they didn't even need to do that because they still were with each other. and appeared with each other. Like, I get they wanted to try to separate them to not be the New Day affiliated, but, like, they're the New Day, damn it. Like, that's just a dominant faction or, like, trio of people. And you don't do that to the Street Profits. You don't need to, right? Because what are you going to do? Right. Have one of them turn on each other? We've seen that before, and that buries one of them. Regardless, one of them will be buried.
Look what happened to fucking Heavy Machinery. Yeah. Otis, you don't even remember Tucker Knight.
No. I forgot about Tucker.
I don't even remember his name half the time.
Tucker Knight. After Otis left him because of the Mandy Rose storyline and he won Money in the Bank, Tucker was gone. He was done.
And that was it. Like,
And Montez and Angelo have way too good of chemistry. They're way too good together to
100%.
split up.
100%. And they need to be there. They need to be there when one of them wins a big title to hold each other up. Yeah. Like, that needs to be a moment to share together.
It helps the feel goodiness of the moment.
It makes you feel oozy.
It makes you feel oozy.
It does make me feel oozy.
So in regards to this particular match, the right team won. I feel the Street Profits were the proper team to get their win at Mania.
Definitely.
But overall, as a match,
so when I said it was a waste of 8:30, it was just because it didn't do like it wasn't. There was no point other than look at these guys.
A few good spots, and that was it.
Dude, I didn't even notice it was that short. I thought that match was longer than the Cena in Theory match.
No, it was short.
Yeah. One thing that really impressed me was when Braun was just trucking everybody on the side, and then he runs into Angelo, and Angelo just powerhouses that man to the floor.
Yeah,
that got me shocked.
We really need to stop sleeping on Angelo.
I'm telling you.
Next time the Street Profits have a match, really pay attention to Angelo. He's good.
He's good in the ring. He's overshadowed by Montez.
Montez is like a fucking a power ball full of charisma. And it's hard to match that without looking like you're just trying to copy him.
So maybe Split will actually be good for Dawkins. Who knows? Because then he's not overshadowed in every match.
Yeah, I feel like Dawkins can have a single run too, and they can stay together.
They definitely could both easily have a singles run. I just think hopefully they don't actually like split them up. I hope it's a New Day type scenario where it's like, oh, we're just on separate brands, but we're still the Street Profits.
169-bit donation from FaZe. Hip hip.
I feel like that's not necessary.
It really isn't. You could easily have Dawkins be the one to pin Theory. So that is an idea. Dawkins could be the one to take the Dawkins, and Montez could be the ones to take the Intercontinental and United States titles.
Oh, dude, you're not having that IC belt drop anytime soon. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
we'll get to that. We will get to that. Speaking of getting to that, we need to keep going here. We could speculate on the tag division, of course. Where do we place this? Do we place this match higher?
We place this above Cena in Theory.
Any closing thoughts on the match, then?
Nope.
Nobody wants to add anything?
I like the finish. The finish where he does like I forget what happens, but he like holds the guy on top of his knee.
Ricochet.
And then he like holds Ricochet on top of his knees, and then he gets frog splashed. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was a good spot.
Yeah, that should be their finisher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on the card, I was shocked that this went third, but, with everything that happened, it already felt like a long night. Seth freaking Rollins and Logan Paul. We had Logan Paul with his wannabe HBK entrance, and Seth Rollins with his Maestro entrance. Honestly, really cool from both of them to be able to do something. I'm not a Logan Paul fan, but he's topical, obviously. Oh, perfect time trumpet there from that. Thank you for the sound alert. But yeah, 16 minutes, 15 seconds for this. What do you guys think? Immediate reactions right off the hip.
wonderful match. First off,
Honestly,
the match was great.
Great match.
I honestly
Paul has no right being as good in the ring as he actually is right now. It's insane.
Yeah, Paul has
I like him, but
he has no business being that good, but he is phenomenal.
Yeah, I see Logan Paul. I see Logan Paul getting a contract.
He did. He actually signed a multi-year deal today.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
And I see him being more than just a pay-per-view wrestler, because that seems like the only time that he actually has a match.
I mean, but he's a draw in that regard. If you look at his tenure already, he's competed against who? Roman Reigns, The Miz, Seth Rollins. Who else has he gone against? I'm missing one.
Did he tag with The Miz?
He did tag with
Yeah.
They went against...
That was his
they
first
beat
one,
Rey
though.
Mysterio and Dom Mysterio at WrestleMania.
Yep. So, I mean...
Yeah.
He's honestly, he's a name value draw. When a single individual has more online social media presence than an entire company does, you want to sign that person. From a business stance, definitely. You want to sign him. And then like what IROB said, to have him show up and show out and blow away Hangman Adam Page's moves with being green as he is wild to see. You hate the guy, but damn it, he's an athlete. You don't want to like him. He's got no business being that good.
I was going to say, his buckshot's a lot better than Hangman's.
For a guy that's been doing it for 15 plus years, and it's your finisher. Like, damn it. That's a slap in the face. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, Logan. Yeah.
Yeah, he's speechless. Philly, I can't hear you. I see your mouth moving. I can't hear you.
Yes.
I can hear you.
You can hear him? I can't hear him. No.
Definitely.
You guys can hear him? Ty, can you hear him?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, I can hear him.
Oh, I can't hear him. Philly, drop out, come back in.
He's basically saying he sees Paul being a special attraction.
Yeah, like Brock.
I don't see him being anything more than a pay-per-view show.
You know, I mean, that's the thing. He could show up, make appearances on Monday, SmackDown, on Friday. Wherever they need him, but he's a pay-per-view attraction.
Yes, that I do agree. But I'm just saying, like, he needs to have a bigger role on, one of those shows, whichever one he gets drafted to or whatever. Instead of just.
But why?
Not so much like a bigger role. More airtime, I guess you could say.
For why? Look at what he's accomplished without it.
Oh, not like airtime to where
I can hear you,
matches.
I still can't hear you.
I don't know if Travis can.
Yeah, I can't. That means the podcast can't. So.
I can't hear him. No.
Yeah.
But they definitely will say they'll give him like the occasional Raw SmackDown appearance, but other than that, he's going to just remain a pay-per-view show.
And I get that people might want it, but it would be if he wants it. Does he want to show up every week, or does he want to like do his podcast, make money, and show up for the pay-per-view?
He wants to make money. He doesn't need airtime. He's a bigger face than an entire company. He doesn't need the air.
I agree with that, but I'm just saying, like, an era where everyone likes a good storyline and stuff.
Of course we like a good story.
Do that.
Of course he could.
I feel like that's what he needs to do more of.
I don't see him doing it though.
I think that's what you want him to do more of. He doesn't need to do more of it.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I want more of with him, but it's not necessarily going to happen.
That's the other thing. Can he do that stuff? Like, is he actually a good actor?
Yeah, I feel like the issue is that. I'm sorry.
I think he just plays it. He's himself, and people don't like him, so it works for him being a heel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The issue, though, I feel like with him being as green as he is he has no history to go off to create a really compelling story. Like, he is an internet celebrity. The most people could do is bring up his controversies of his past on the internet.
And you don't want to go there.
That would just be WWE ignoring really bad and controversial things, and they still want to work with him anyway for a cash grab, which we don't want to acknowledge.
Right.
That's
that
the
would
quiet
backfire
part.
fast.
Yeah, that's the quiet part we don't want to say out loud.
Yep.
You know, all it would take is for somebody to wear a green alien hat from Toy Story.
Jesus.
And we just send it all crashing down right there.
That's the thing.
So
Logan Paul's a person. He's a shitty human being, but he's a great in-ring performer.
And so a company will look past that. They've done it time and time again.
Yeah.
I honestly think that Logan as a person has gotten better, though. Like, he's still a little bit on the shittier end, but I feel like he's definitely gotten and improved, especially with, putting in the work against, like, Rollins and that match he had against Reigns at what was that at? Clash at the Castle? That was, or what pay-per-view was that at?
That was
Crown Jewel.
Crown Jewel against Roman.
Oh, yeah, Crown Jewel. Yeah, that was a pretty, he puts in the work, and I think he's, like everyone's been saying, even if he's not the best human, he's pretty decent wrestler, honestly.
And I mean, that's honestly, what they care about. And that's sad as a company. That's all they care about is just that.
Can we hear Philly?
No, I still can't hear Philly.
Jesus,
I can hear him.
I don't know why you guys can and I can't. That's the strangest thing.
I can't hear him. Philly and
I can hear him.
Like loading screens for me.
Dang it.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this thing. Here, I muted him, unmuted him. I don't know what's going on.
Philly just broke.
Yeah. You got me. So, where do we rank this match, though?
Okay, so I feel like that's definitely the new number one.
Yeah, I'd say 1.
So, we also got to talk about, too, it wasn't really mentioned. I don't know how many people are familiar with KSI.
Yeah, I know who KSI is.
I actually predicted that.
I know who it is.
But you can ask Charlotte. I saw the can coming down with Logan Paul, and I said something's going to happen with the can.
Somebody's in there.
Well, I mean, that was that's a given.
I called
the
we
bottle.
all called that.
Yeah,
it was either going to be his brother or KSI.
Don't take away my thunder. I called that.
Everybody, hold on. Who called the bottle of Prime a can?
Rob.
They're aluminum cans, right?
No.
Bottles.
No, they're like plastic.
Sure, this was KSI.
You got Prime right now.
You got Prime right there.
Good Lord, get out of here! What the hell?
I'm thirsty.
That's good, bro. That stuff is honestly better than Gatorade.
No,
it is.
It doesn't take much to be better than Gatorade. That's too low of a standard.
Look, it's KSI.
No.
I can't right now. This man had multiple.
Quit advertising that.
Look, anyway,
Thirsty.
do we all agree that this is the new number one match?
Yes, it's number 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would agree.
My last sentiment on this match is: can we stop with every Logan Paul match having a table spot in it?
But you
That's
have
a
to
good point.
That.
Let's be fair. This one was pretty good.
No,
This
let's
one
not
was
be
a
fair.
good
It's
one.
becoming his typecast thing now. Like, we get it. You could jump through a table.
Yeah.
Like, it needs to stop
My
100%. This one was necessary, though, because it was fun to see KSI go put through a table.
I don't know.
My closing remark, though, is that Seth Rollins, the choir thing where the maestro was conducting the crowd, that was a Logan Buttholes, because it was cool, but you know damn well that crowd did not follow instructions.
I feel like at some parts they had to have an overlay for the crowd.
Yeah, they piped that in, because no crowd is going to listen to somebody 5 miles away from them. They can't see him.
No.
I mean, until they started hearing Seth Rollins starting to come out, then that's when they started the whole doing it to where they didn't need to add crowd noise. Because it's you can hear it. You can hear when they're putting it in.
Yeah, let's. Yeah, that was just all I had to say left on there.
Yeah, it was kind of a bad thing.
So that becomes our new number one match. Do we top it, though,
I
at this
think
point? So our next match was coming in at 14 minutes, 40 seconds. Trish Stratus, Lita, Becky Lynch defeating Damage Control. I hated so much of why this is even a thing, because my only real thoughts on it is they're just damaging Damage Control with this. And I hate it. So
if everyone knows how much I love Lita, since I use her music all the time, and I hate the fact that she's a tag team champ right now and wrestling on shows.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Like,
yes.
She
I
does
feel
not. I feel like this match should have been to where Damage Control won. They had the wrong team win, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Because now it's like, where do you go with Damage Control from here?
you don't.
You can't go nowhere. If they won, then that's a different story. Then you could have it to where they can basically rematch for the tag champions, and they get the tag champs, the tag belts back.
But at that point, though, what was the point of taking the belts off them in the first place?
There isn't one.
A cheap pop.
That's the thing. I question all of this. That's why I have a problem with it.
This match, this feud, it should have never have happened.
Yeah, 100. Honest to God, it sounds bad, but I think it would have been better if Trish and Lita won the tag belts rather than Becky and Lita.
Well, yeah, because Trish feels like the third one out then. You know, she's the odd woman out.
Look, okay. I feel like Becky and Lita should have never became a team. I feel like they should have had a match, maybe. But Becky and Lita winning the tag titles from the very beginning was a terrible idea. And I'll tell you why. The booking decisions you can make are all like dead ends, right? Because if they lose, wow, Becky Lynch, one of the top stars of today, loses with a legend from the past. How do they lose? Then if they win, oh my gosh, we're bringing in old talent and burying the new talent.
Yeah, it's a lose-lose situation.
The only spin out of this, too, is having Becky Lynch turn on the legends to make her heel again.
Yeah.
But Becky just became face.
Right. So why? You know?
And then I see the whole thing as the reason they brought Trish and Lita back was, I mean, I'm not, you know me, I don't watch wrestling that much except for pay-per-views and catch highlights throughout the week. But the way that I've seen it is that Becky and Bayley have like this ongoing feud about everything, and that's what they're trying to get the angle at. And it's like, no, you don't need to do that. Like bring others in just because she's part of Damage Control. Like, I get it that you want it to be a 3-on-3, but you could also just give 1v1s against Becky and Bayley, and then go from there. But in the Legends back, just kind of like
there's also
Ty says, it buries the new talent.
There's so many other women on the roster that you could give that spot to rather than Lita and Trish.
Exactly. Right? That's the thing right there too.
You want to know who would really benefit from something like working with Becky? Dana Brooke. She's very good in the ring.
Somebody else that's been there? Yeah.
Dana Brooke.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And thank God Piper's heel right now, I think.
Right, she didn't even get a spot in Mania.
But even like a good, like if you wanted like a legitimate tag team to join up with Becky, make an early call up of Katana Chance and Caden Carter.
That would have been wonderful. That would have been a great way to bring
it. Because you have
they had just lost the tag titles in NXT. They're not even on. Yeah, even then if they didn't, but it would still have been a good call up for them. I think calling them up with that retrospect, though, they would have had to have dropped the tag belts anyway, because I feel like at that stage there would be no reason to call them up. It's like, well, why are you calling them up just to send them back to NXT?
Right.
I feel like it would make more sense.
Chat mentioned
they
something about Trish turning heel. And honestly, I don't think you need legends to turn face or heel during a return that is going to be super short.
Exactly. If anything, I would say have Becky. Becky needs to be the one that turns heel.
Right, but again, why? We asked that question. Why would they flip-flop?
No. I'm just saying, like, that's the only way to break up the trio.
It is, but again, why? Why flip-flop on this?
Exactly.
Why? And why would it matter if Trish turned heel? Like, that's okay. So she can go away again. Who cares? Like,
dude, I feel like Damage Control should have won the match.
Yes.
I feel like the match was not that good.
No.
I feel like I feel like the match should not have happened. Honestly, I feel like this was maybe a little better than Cena versus Theory. So,
well, see, I kind of agree with you there, Ty. I feel that this match should happen because it could have gave Damage Control the push they need. As it is, they needed to win, and they didn't. So it's just a big flop.
Yeah, and the only reason I say I feel like the match shouldn't have happened at all is because Becky and Lita should have never won the tag championship.
Yes, that's true.
Plain and simple. Should have never won it.
So Chad is saying that it's going to lead to a Becky and Trish matchup. Chad is also saying Lita wants a final singles run, so Trish makes sense. You know, these are possible scenarios. I just think it's weird positioning to get us in that direction. And then to have Damage Control
From
fall.
watching the match at WrestleMania, Lita doesn't need any singles runs, and it pains me to say it.
Yikes.
But with that said, what's the point of having Lita win the tag belts if she wants a singles run?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's weird booking.
You're just unnecessarily beating the hell out of Damage Control's momentum. You have no reason to. But
they don't have any momentum left to beat up. It's gone.
Yeah.
And there's also momentum with the WrestleMania loss.
We got to ask at this point, because we got to continue moving along. Where does this rank?
We're 45 minutes in.
I would say it's like next to last. Like it's just.
Is it above Theory? Is it above Theory and Cena, or is it below?
I'd put it at fourth.
Yeah, I'd put it below. I'd consider this the worst match so far.
Yeah,
I honestly think Theory and Cena was better.
So what do we got?
I say below.
It's just. I thought it would be just better than Cena in Theory.
I think it's just slightly worse.
Yeah, I think it's worse.
I think it's worse. Okay. Yeah. Theory Cena was a little better.
Hi, Rob. We got chat saying it's last so far.
Yeah.
So chat is.
It would have been amazing, but all
right,
different story.
If they brought up younger talent from NXT.
Yeah.
These matches are all going to get pushed down anyways, so in the long run they won't matter. But moving on along, 14:55 was the time for this one for our fifth match. Rey Mysterio defeated Dominik Mysterio. I feel the right individual won in this one. Newly crowned Hall of Famer. You say no?
I think either way, the match. I think either one winning has a good result, but I ultimately think Dominik winning might have had the better effect. Just because of him being the heel in the sense, I think he has more to gain by beating his dad. I do kind of understand why they had Rey win, because he had just got inducted into the Hall of Fame. You
got to set up the LWO in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, that too.
Well, that's why he loses here. It sets up a continued feud. This isn't the ending chapter of this story. This is shaming Dom on the big stage, right? He's not ready for that Mania moment. Don't let this be his Mania moment. He shined here with a loss still. He didn't need to win.
Dom did fantastic.
But the entrances the chat talks about too. The entrances were incredible. The moment Eddie Guerrero's music hit, amazing. The lowrider, amazing. The police escort for Dom, amazing. Like they They nailed it with this story. The off the script, supposedly water bottle to his sister in the face, the disrespect again to the mother. They nailed this story. While super awkward, the story, there's such extensive amount of history here, even with the custody of Dom back in the Eddie Guerrero days. Like, this was a showcase of long-term storytelling. It worked perfectly. I thought it was a fun match. So that's
a great match.
That's my take on it.
Yeah. I can hear you, Bear.
I still can't hear him.
It was a fantastic match. I think either man, like I said, either man winning made sense, but you definitely like setting up the rematch. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I will say Dom has gotten a lot better on the mic, and as being a heel, he gets a lot of heat now from the fans and everything. But I mean, I agree that Rey needed to win because, Dom isn't ready for that big Mania moment yet. At the same time, like...
I'm sorry, but...
I don't know.
I'm failing to understand how Dom isn't ready for his big Mania moment.
Because where do you go?
I think it's because he's young.
I'm just thinking, too, where do you go? He beats his father. After a feud that he's been beating his father, where do you go?
Exactly.
Well,
he can't go anywhere.
I mean, where does he go after he loses? Continuing to denounce his father?
Yes, but Judgment Day has a shift in momentum now.
Yeah. Win or lose, I feel like Judgment Day would have had a shift in momentum. Finn Balor lost, their leader. Rhea Ripley won. I feel like the shift now there is that, like, Rhea Ripley is kind of like the new leader of Judgment Day, in my opinion.
She's been the leader for the last months.
Yeah.
I think she's always been de facto leader in the sense. And
technically, honestly, Finn didn't lose. The Demon did.
This is true.
Yeah. Which I'm tired of ruining the Demon's mystique.
We'll get to that. That's coming up.
Judgment Day saved a lot of their careers.
Oh, 100%.
Like, Priest was floundering in the mid-card. Rhea would have been fine, I think, without it, but it definitely gave her a new shift of, like, momentum. And Dom, it just shot Dom to the moon.
It did.
Well, it made him a character, right? Not just Rey Mysterio, even though they still utilized him being the son, but it made him a character. And that's what you want when you're a next generation
talent. It gives him his own identity to where he's
correct. He's not wearing a mask, other than the intentional like disrespect. He's not the son of his father. Like, he's not that next generational talent. He's got an identity, and this is what he needed to do here with this. And he'll come out of this better for it.
And same for Bálor. It gave him a real resurgence too. Because honestly, heel Finn is better Finn anyway.
Yeah, we'll get to him and the topic of him on the Edge and Bálor one. So where do we rank this now? We're 5 matches in.
I think it was one of the best. I think.
Who's number 1?
Seth Rollins, Logan Paul's number 1. The Street Profits and their tag is number 2. I think it beats out the Street Profits. I think we put this in.
It definitely beats out the Street Profits.
Yeah, it's number 2.
I say it's 2.
I think it's 2. I think Seth and Paul put on a better show.
I agree.
Yeah.
The story was better. That's the thing. I think story-wise, it's definitely 1. Match quality-wise, it was definitely 2. But it's just a consensus. I think in the combination of both, I think Rollins and Paul put on a better show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're very, very too close to actually give a good breakdown on, but edging it out would be the Rollins-Logan Paul one. Next on the card, and spoiler alert, I'm already going to fight for this one for a top position, and I will battle. Rhea Ripley defeating Charlotte Flair in 23-35.
Best match of the whole 2 both nights.
35.
Best match of that night.
So
Best match both nights. There's nothing better on the second
obviously,
night.
we'll progress through and we can debate that as necessary. But we'll put that as the top spot right now. And let's talk about this damn match.
Unanimous.
They hit so hard. Like, I was cringing. For a moment, I had that suspension of belief in the fact that this stuff is not real. You know? I was sucked into this match like it was a damn fight between these two. Like it was a personal, this is my stage. This is Charlotte Flair's Mania. Like, this is her place. She is the top female. But Rhea shined. She is a star for years and years to come in this industry. And we saw her climb up the ranks. It's not just her physical presence and demeanor, not the way she carries herself, because that's evolved since her beginning too. Her confidence of not just herself, but her in-ring work has evolved into a top-tier talent for years to come. She will be the future of the women's division, hands down. And it's not her character that's doing it. It is her talents in that ring. Because you could put her in any character now. She solidified herself as a top talent in the division, hands down.
Yeah, 100%. She definitely one of the best of the women's division has to date.
Yeah.
How do you top her, though? That's the thing. Because you look at the women's division. Like, look
Is
at
there
our
a
champions.
debate that she's not above Bianca?
No, she's definitely above Bianca.
Oh, yeah. I definitely would put her above Bianca.
But
I think we all agree with you. Nobody was arguing it.
Yeah.
No, I'm just more... I don't know, though. Bianca is really, really good, too, though, for being so young, too. Like,
Bianca,
they're both great young talents.
Very young.
So listen. The Rhea and Bianca debate, I feel like, goes like this. As far as in the ring, Bianca and Rhea, they are not evenly matched. I'm sorry. Bianca definitely outpaces Rhea in the ring.
What?
But on the mic, Rhea outpaces Bianca by a mile.
Mic work, yes, I'll give you that one, but I don't know if I agree with the
Rhea
ring work,
is
though.
definitely beating Bianca on the mic, but in the ring, Bianca, she got the strength, she has the athleticism, she's fast, she can do it all.
So can Rhea,
But
though.
Rhea, I think
Rhea's
Rhea
power,
is strong.
though. Rhea's power, I feel like, just not overshadows, but I think beats out her athleticism by a little bit.
Bianca can go blow for blow with Rhea. But Rhea cannot go flip and flop with Bianca.
It's a different style, though. So if we're doing a style comparison...
Yeah, they have different styles of wrestling. That's the thing. It's basically like when we go to create our own call,
I'm just saying, Bianca can do things as far as athleticism that Rhea cannot. And
there's
Rhea can talk and put over characters. Like, I'm saying, Bianca could not do Judgment Day.
No.
Yeah.
Bianca cannot do Judgment Day.
You got to consider this, though, too. Obviously, it's sports entertainment. Rhea is the complete package where Bianca is a work in progress and getting there still. So overall, I think Rhea edges her out.
I don't know.
She's the complete package. Like you all just said, she couldn't do the things that Rhea does. This is sports entertainment. Athleticism, sure.
Oh, he's not wrong there. I forgot about the NXT Women's title.
Yep. You had that run there.
So, I don't know. That could be a debate in itself, going through the history of those two talents. You know what I mean?
That's the thing. Bianca never had the NXT Women's title.
She should have.
She didn't spend enough time down there.
Bianca spent a lot of her NXT career being underrated and underutilized. And once she really finally started getting the spotlight on her, and I think that started at like the Royal Rumble that she competed in, her first Royal Rumble.
Well, they saw a star.
When people started opening her eyes. Opening their eyes to her. I feel like Bianca
I think Bianca needs a
just
heel
needs
turn.
mic work. Bianca needs help with mic work.
She needs a heel turn. She
It's
needs a
getting
heel turn.
stale.
She needs to evolve her character.
Yeah, she does need to evolve, but I feel basically it'd be the same thing like with how, I hate to bring up the last match that we talked about, but like Dom. The second he turned heel, his mic work got better. So maybe a heel turn might actually help her.
And honestly, you could play the same character she's doing now as a heel. She is the EST. She is better than you, right? You
Actually,
just,
I think
Yeah.
you just put that in people's
her
faces.
NXT character was a heel, if I'm not mistaken.
It was sort of.
It's sort of, but I don't think she was taking it. She's. I don't think it was perceived that way.
This
You know what
is
I mean?
true.
But yeah, she needs to evolve. That'll be helpful. She's young though. That's really the story here. She has a lot of time, and I think she will continue. I mean, she's the first to win 3 in a row. I think for the women.
Yeah, Bianca is becoming like the new fucking Undertaker. She's Bianca Taker.
Well, not only that, she's starting to approach on records that Charlotte Flair had in that regard. She's starting to, take over that moniker of Charlotte Flair held every, little record for the women's division. Now Bianca's taking every, little thing here and going to take that over. So, I mean, being as young as she is with these years to come, who knows?
Yeah.
Proceeding on, though, any last thoughts on Rhea Ripley? The right person won, in my opinion.
Yeah, the right person won for sure.
My
I feel like
is
places.
this is. I was just gonna say, you could tell that it was good for both of them with how happy Charlotte looked in losing.
Well, she was a face.
She knew that
she
they
was
put
going
on
as
an
a face,
awesome
though.
match. She knew it was great.
Hell yeah, she knew it was great, and she could show that on camera because she was a face with this character. She came back as a face and ran this entire run as a face, which was a bad move.
This match is number one.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, we already agreed.
I put that even before we started talking about it. It took the number one spot.
It was a unanimous decision.
So we're back in the ring with The Miz and Snoop Dogg, and we see the return of Pat McAfee.
That was tomorrow.
Second night. Pat McAfee returns, and they give Miz a Mania match because Snoop Dogg said he should have a match. 3 minutes, 40 seconds. This did nothing for me. I think this should go on the bottom. Yeah, I think it should go on the bottom.
This doesn't even count as a real match. This was just a spot filler.
It's recognized as a match, so we have to talk about it. So
I mean, is it enjoyable to see The Miz get his ass kicked?
I think we talk about it on 2 seconds and move on.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah, okay, we've talked about it now.
Yeah.
Yep,
listen.
So, go ahead.
I'm sick of seeing The Miz get his ass kicked. Unpopular opinion. I'm so sick and tired.
I don't think it's an
Why is that an unpopular opinion?
Because here's the
He's
thing about
great.
The Miz. He's one of the most tenured active talents today that is also a 2-time Grand Slam champion. Like, yeah, he likes to throw that in your face. But it's true. Look at all the active talents today. Who has a longer tenure? He's been almost with the company for, 20 years at this point?
Yeah.
And he's still active. Nobody is consistently active with 20 years.
The Miz deserves to still be a somewhat credible threat to everyone on the roster.
He should be.
And
he should still be a credible threat.
He's not a threat.
Come on. He got his ass beat by Pat McAfee, by Snoop Dogg, got his ass beat by Logan Paul. He gets his ass beat by anytime
and you know what?
someone.
This is where he starts his revenge tour.
Boy. Anytime they need someone to get their ass whooped, they go, hey, let's call The Miz.
Where's
The
Miz?
Didn't he get stomped by those awesome giant red boots, too?
Where's The Miz or where's Dolph Ziggler?
Yeah, where is Dolph?
Yeah, Dolph Ziggler deserves better, too, but that's a whole other discussion, and I will lose myself for days talking about how much better... Yeah, talking about how much better Dolph Ziggler deserves. I could go for hours.
Same.
But, yeah.
Main event of night 1. Many people believe this is the greatest tag team match of all time. I don't think so. So, the result, 24 minutes, 15 seconds. We told a story with this, though. Let's be real. We told a story with this damn match. We told a story for the last year with these people. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn finally overcoming two members of the Bloodline, the Usos, to win the Undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship. 24-15 again was the time on that. And it was a fun match, but it took a little bit to kind of get it going. I felt like the beginning part was a little slow.
Yeah.
I felt like they gave Sammy no momentum at all in the match until the end because he was sitting there eating super kicks after super kicks after super kicks.
But you know why? Do you know why? They're regurgitating. They're regurgitating the story they've been telling. They condensed a year's storyline of him just getting put down and put down and put down into one single match to have that payoff at the end. That's why they did it that way. They wanted you to believe.
The man got kicked so many times.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, he just got his ass kicked.
No,
he got his face kicked.
And
his face got kicked.
That was the story, though. The Usos, the Bloodline, when they turned on him, watching him get beat down like that, it felt hopeless. It really did. Then nobody came out to help him. Nobody saved him. It was just hopeless ass whoopings. Mm-hmm. And that's something like what they showed us in the match again. It felt hopeless. It felt like there was no chance they were going to win. And then he kicked out. And then all the hope was restored again. Yep. And then they got their ass booked again and again. And then they kicked out. And hope would just keep coming back until finally they won the match. And I think that really helped express what the story was all about. It's like one big story about overcoming the odds.
This one was all about story. This one, great story.
I mean, if you like super kicks, this was the match for you.
Yeah.
Damn.
Super kicks.
It was.
Like, I think they did more super kicks than AEW.
Counter.
Sammy using the Uso splash was
all those leg slaps.
It was a nice touch.
But I will say probably the one good thing that, restored all the hope to where it's like you knew they were going to win was when Sammy kicked out of the 1D.
1D.
Yep.
Yeah.
As they had said,
me just say also,
nobody ever kicks out of it.
Yeah, side note, Michael Cole's commentary throughout this match was a real highlight because I don't think a lot of people would have got the gravity of a lot of the things that were happening without Michael Cole's commentary.
He
100%. has
been such a foundation to WWE. Like, you don't realize...
Since he stopped saying vintage.
He still says vintage, though. But, like, if you would have guessed Michael Cole, who was just a backstage interviewer during the King Lawler and JR days, the Attitude Era, you never would have thought that this man would have called more manias than anybody else on commentary. Like, it's wild to see him be the voice of WWE. And honestly, I like his commentary work, and he has grown so much as an individual in commentary. And I like to mold some of my inspiration from Michael Cole and even Vince McMahon on commentary. I really like listening to their storytelling and their work. So yeah, to add on to what you said, I agree. The depth of his work in detail, underappreciated, for sure.
I think Cole has definitely gotten better on commentary since Vince got out of his ear.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I mean you can see his demeanor is different.
Yeah, because he's not like walking on eggshells.
That had to suck. I mean, he went through hell.
Yeah, and he's also able to mention other promotions. I found that pretty cool as well.
Right. Which is important too to give depth to your characters.
Especially mentioning Christian was a big part.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I'm sad. We'll get to that too.
Yeah, that's like Grav going to a new promotion and they just don't mention any at all.
Man, imagine me just going to a different promotion though. Jeez.
That would be funny.
Might actually win.
Outside of hypothetical, that would be hilarious. That you were the one that got poached to a different place.
And I just go and do it. Bye.
You're just
Have
like,
you won
I'm
titles
sorry,
in other
guys.
promotions though, Trev?
I don't know.
You're just like, I'm sorry, guys. There was supposed to be NAW tonight, but this new show was premiering, and I
Oh,
had
did
to
you
watch
say
that
new,
one.
like nerd elite wrestling? Oh.
Yeah,
I betray my
God,
own
yeah.
for my other own.
yeah.
It's really
Imagine.
confusing. Anyways, where do we want to rank this? Because this had so many cool moments, story moments, great match moments. It was a fun match, and like
I
honestly,
say two.
a lot
I
of
say two.
you say two. Okay, a lot of people were like, greatest again tag match of all time. It was worthy of the main event.
Rhea versus Charlotte was better, I think.
Yes.
I'm gonna agree. I'll put it at number 2. I agree. I still feel wholeheartedly that Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair stole night one.
Yeah.
They stole the whole weekend.
I feel like Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair stole night one because they had something to prove with having the main event taken from them.
It
They
should have been
came out
theirs.
there and they proved that they should have been in the main event.
And I think the judgment on it was there was a bigger storyline and ramification, if I'm using that correctly here, involved with the bloodline, right? That's a bigger story, and I don't want to diminish again Rhea and Charlotte and the things they've done. But
And honestly, if we're being honest, the build to the match for Rhea and Charlotte was not great. But the
but
payoff was amazing.
Exactly, and I think that's how you justify how do we close this night one and give full steam ahead into a 2-night event, right? Because we still had another 4 more hours of wrestling ahead.
Come to think about it, I don't really remember much of the build to Rhea versus Charlotte.
Oh,
It wasn't.
shit. Guys,
It
the
wasn't
chat.
So
I know,
Thunder
it's
says
okay.
Lita was attacked
Chad.
on Raw off camera. Trish took Lita, place to defend the. See, there you go. And lost.
Awesome.
They see.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what was the point of all this?
Hey,
Then?
what was the point?
See that even adds to the.
Spoilers, people, come on.
No, this is good. So
If we're here, we
Yeah.
can't be watching it. It's spoilers.
you are a prick, sir. Says it's literally scripted junk. Watch a real sport like UFC. You WWE scripted fans stay salty. You know, here's the thing. UFC and
I like
WWE are one
UFC.
now. UFC and WWE are one now. So I don't know what you're trying to say here, but now you have to deal with WWE. So suck it.
But is UFC a real
Got
sport?
2 words
I mean,
for you.
Thank you for chatting in. You are a prick, sir.
Yeah, that too. It's
Moving on.
literally an UFC is just a bunch of men punching each other.
I mean,
All right.
Unpopular
we're
opinion.
entertaining this individual far more than he needs
Yeah.
to be. All right, night 2. We have 7 more matches to talk about, and they open things up with Brock Lesnar and Omos. 4 minutes and 55 seconds.
He beat him in 55 seconds?
4 minutes 55. 4 minutes 55.
This
Oh,
match
I was about to
was
say, dude.
And I think you
says-
agreed with me, Trev, but called this one.
You said you called one? What? Everybody's silent.
Omos.
Oh, yeah.
Did look,
So strong for 4 minutes and 55 seconds.
Omos did look better than he has in recent months.
Do you expect Omos or Brock Lesnar to last longer than 4 minutes and 55 seconds?
Oh hell no!
Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Brock, yes. Omos, no.
You know, the only thing I really want to highlight in this whole match was Brock Lesnar's entrance and how happy he looked to go up first and just get the fuck out of Mania.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I get to go out here and wrestle for 5 minutes and go home.
Because you know they're 3 hours back. So when they're going live at 8 p.m. Eastern, it's 5 p.m. California Pacific time. He's done by 5:05 and he's on a fucking plane home. Like, he's done.
He's like,
no, he went to Raw the next night, so he didn't go home.
I go,
Yeah, that's
sure,
true.
fair. But still, he got out of there.
He went to bed.
He went to the hotel, had some dinner.
He did. He was done. So,
It was like, screw this, I'm done.
I mean, it was great. Whatever. It was a Mania moment. It was Brock, who's a big dude, going against an even bigger dude. I think they wanted to try to give it the Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant treatment, but it just didn't get there at all.
He won't be able to suplex him. He won't be able to give him the F5.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? He did both in 5 minutes, so whatever.
I don't think people cared. And I don't think people are going to care about Omos. I hate to say that. But beyond him being big, he is not marketable.
There's nothing.
Yeah. Anyway, so
Even putting him with MVP doesn't help him.
Brock Lesnar once again beats up another big boy. Moving on.
Yeah, where do we place this?
It's the first match.
Last.
No, it is. No, it is not last.
This is above. It's
It
above
is
Pat
not-
McAfee?
It's definitely above Pat McAfee.
Okay. All right, so we've placed it above that.
That's above. That was above McAfee, and
That's
that's
it,
below
right?
Theory.
It's below the Trish damage control.
Yes.
I
would say
think
that
this
one was
was-
a little better.
This is definitely better than McAfee Miz. The other.
We just don't know.
There's no story to this one. I mean,
This is true.
Because it fulfilled the story. Brock hit him with an F5, so that's all they needed.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Second match. Did we lose Garmer? Has he been gone?
his thing has just been loading the whole time for me.
Has no one heard him at all?
Oh my God, Garmer's been
no.
talking and no one's heard him.
Has he been talking?
Yes, he
I haven't
has.
heard him.
No one has heard him.
Oh
Garmer. Poor Garmer.
That's
Why did you hear him?
Oh,
No.
I heard him.
I didn't hear him either.
I wasn't hearing
Oh,
him either. He
God.
just kept.
What is
loading
going
the
on?
whole
Why
time.
are some people muted for each other and some are...
How am I the only one hearing everybody? Ah.
That is weird. God, I hate Discord
Well,
sometimes.
Travis
Get your
said
shit together, Discord. Anyways.
It's Discord.
Yeah. Second match, we had the women's now WrestleMania showcase Fatal 4-Way.
Meh.
Meh. Moving on.
It was
Man match with
Uh,
horrible winners.
above Miz and McAfee, but that's about it.
So I got a question on this one, though.
Nothing's worse than Miz McAfee.
Here's my
Except
question.
for Miz McMahon.
I think the right team won to keep heel heat with Ronda Rousey and Shayna.
No.
But, no, hear me out. But the confusion is, why are Liv Morgan and Raquel tag team champions tonight now on Monday Night Raw?
To get the belts off of.
Sure, but what was the point of them losing at Mania then? Like, how do you...
Exactly. What's the point?
Because it's in
Yeah.
Ronda's contract, she can't lose.
What I'm saying,
What?
what I'm saying is that the match was pretty lame. The winners were pretty lame, and I was just waiting for it to be over.
Yeah.
I mean,
If I'm
to be
being
honest,
honest.
like
This was the normal
Rob-
popcorn match, and we made food during this match. We didn't
I think
hang
I
out to watch
actually
it.
did go get
Travis,
food.
how
for
long
We
it.
was
did.
the match? How long
This
was the
match came in
Travis?
at 8 minutes and 25 seconds.
Out of that
Longest 8 minutes
entire
of my
8
life.
and 25 seconds, you only seen Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey for maybe 30 seconds
2
of the fight.
seconds. And that was at the end when they pinned.
Exactly.
And they didn't even qualify to be in the match. They had
No.
just joined the match.
You qualified? Wait, there was qualifications for this
There were
match?
build-up. Yeah, there were build-up to
Yeah,
qualify for this.
everybody else had to win a match to get into it.
Yeah, they did not.
What was the point?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
What's
To-
the point of putting these two bozos
But
in
that's
there
why I
just
say to have them as the heels who didn't even qualify win it. They made the right call there to get that heel
Yeah,
heat,
but
to piss people
they just-
off. It worked.
They just waste. They're just
But
wasting.
at the same
Baszler.
time, it was just a waste of a match.
It
Like,
was a let's get our people on Mania match. That's what it was. It was
Baszler-
it's no different than the Andre the Giant Battle Royal that they usually do, but they did that on SmackDown instead, so they had to come up with an alternative way to get a bunch of people on Mania, right?
Baszler deserves better.
I look at it like this. You brought up how
Yeah,
Liv
Baszler
and
does
Raquel,
deserve better.
Liv and Raquel won the titles tonight. But what was the point of them losing at Mania? Yes.
Right.
Giving
Yes.
Baszler and Rousey the heel heat, yes, that's one thing. But if anything, you should have gave Liv and Raquel a win at Mania to push them to where they win the belt. Because there was no build up for tonight.
They don't deserve to be there.
Can I give an update on the Becky Lynch
Yes, please.
and Trish?
Yes, please.
And Lita?
We're doing this during Monday Night Raw.
Right. So apparently, Trish Stratus has turned on Becky Lynch.
Chat called it.
Yeah, we said that.
It's some dumb
now
shit.
you're gonna have a legend beating up on Becky Lynch after she carried them both to get a new championship and Trish to be in the spotlight at all.
So much for that Lita singles run.
So what are you gonna do? You're gonna have Becky beat Trish? Like, what's the point?
Yeah, beat the old lady up.
Oh God.
Charlotte already beat
up Grandma Stratus. Who cares?
You know, in some regards, and I don't want to bring up his name, but in some regards, CM Punk was right about some things.
Yeah.
I think I know exactly what you're talking about, too.
Yeah. Moving on, where do we rank this one? This tag match?
That's like just above McAfee.
So not as good as Brock, but better than McAfee.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm okay with this.
Like, the Brock one still was dumb, but, you know, it got the mission there.
Can we find the other Miz match and just put it right below it?
No, we'll get there. We're going in order. We got to stay in order. We're almost there, by the way. So, all right. I hope you guys are excited about this one, because I'm excited about this one.
I am. I know which one it is.
No, you're not.
The ring I can't do it. Somebody do it for me. He cut out. There you go. Thank you. I can't do it. So
yeah, we got Gunther because you clipped your mic and he couldn't hear you.
Yeah, you clipped. He was too damn loud. Gunther, Sheamus, Drew McIntyre, triple threat Intercontinental Championship. Holy hell. We knew going into this it was going to be hard hitting, but I didn't know it was going to be like this.
Somebody posted how many chest hits there were in that match. There was 87.
Jesus Christ.
Well, they gave a count during the show later on that night, didn't they? I swear I saw it.
Somebody broke it down for who did the most, and actually the part that made me laugh the most was they said not self-inflicted chest blows that Sheamus gave himself.
It was 6. You know, here's the thing. Like, I felt that match was longer than it actually was. Not because it was bad or it dragged, but it was only 16 minutes and 40 seconds.
That was only 16
They fit a lot into those 16 minutes. They fit a lot into those 16 minutes.
It didn't feel like 16 minutes.
But that's what I mean.
That was a wonderful match.
It was great. It was... Damn, that was a good match.
Fantastic.
It was hard hitting.
Yeah, what do we have at number 1 and 2 on the list so far?
So number 1 is Rhea Ripley. Kevin Owens and Sami is number 2. Rollins is number 3. So where would you put this one?
I feel like that could take number 5.
What?
5? I feel like it'd be 4.
5? I think this was better than Seth and Logan.
Yeah.
Well,
I agree.
I mean,
okay, yeah. I agree. I agree.
Because I think based off of because in the sense Logan versus Seth was basically just graded on in-ring action since there really was no story. So, but this was just far better in-ring than.
But in the story, you had Logan one-punch Seth twice during promos.
But compared to
but they did the same thing when he was doing Crown Jewel with Roman Reigns.
Honestly, to be annoying with that. But did Logan pin him after he punched him in those promos?
No,
because Seth would have probably kicked out. So
you're a prick, sir. Thank you for the follow.
That titanium screw in his hand.
Right.
Which wouldn't help you knock somebody out, by the way. That doesn't work that way.
It doesn't. No, it does not.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. But okay.
Hey, Rob, you're breaking kayfabe.
So
Careful, someone might get mad that we're...
King Jackpot, and I'm going to agree with Jackpot on this too. I think it gets the third spot. I think it edges out Rollins and Logan Paul.
Yeah,
I would put it there.
That's fair.
Yeah, I would say that because it does give the whole. The right person did win. Gunther should have won.
Oh, 100%.
And it keeps
who was
and it kind of
win.
breaks up Sheamus and Drew, especially with Drew, being.
I would put
What
it there
were
just
they
for
called?
sheer entertainment value because the three guys just beat the crap out of each other for
Yes.
16 minutes.
Yeah,
And
no,
it was like it wasn't.
It was great.
16 minutes straight.
Yeah,
was
16
great.
minutes of beating the absolute hell out of each other.
Yeah, we need to continue this push of Gunther, and if we're talking about things, we'll get to the main event. But if we're talking about things in 2023, we're talking about things over the last year and a half. Talking about how Walter is now Gunther. A lot of people thought he was going to get buried. A lot of people were worried about the name change. We saw him change his whole physical appearance by changing his diet, his workout regimen. Him and his faction have become just monsters of talent.
His appearance from Walter to Gunther, holy crap.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I do
I
want
was
to point
shocked.
out one thing, though, that I don't like now in retrospect, and I get it from a business standpoint, but if I'm looking at this as a fight scenario, and the prick guy was talking about how fake wrestling is, right? But if we're putting a realistic spin on things and building big fight moments like what Gunther, Sheamus, and McIntyre did, if we're building those kind of moments, I think the biggest mistake that WWE made this year in 2023 was having Gunther lose the Royal Rumble when starting it.
True.
I think
Yeah,
and they did it for one obvious reason, to continue the build of Cody Rhodes, who only came in at number 30. Gunther was number 1, and I get he's tired.
I think though this sets him up future-wise. I honestly think this sets him up to win the Rumble this year, or next year, technically.
But yes,
'Cause-
and Garmer mentions too, and yes, if we're winning it next year, sure, but you got a guy on massive momentum right now. He's not as marketable and merch moving as Cody Rhodes is. He's not impactful of a guy starting a company to try to take down WWE and ultimately failing in the process and then coming back to fulfill this family legacy. That's a marketable story. What's Gunther's story? Is he a merch mover? No. As a business, I get the position they put themselves in to push Cody Rhodes. We'll get to that in the main event in a moment. But from a fight standpoint, Gunther should be the guy. With his momentum, he should be the guy. And just think about it on paper for a moment. Gunther winning from one throughout all 29 other people of the Rumble, headlining as Intercontinental Champion against Roman Reigns, who is also an unstoppable force meeting an immovable object, a headline overly used in the world of wrestling. But realistically, think about that. That is a matchup. That is a big matchup if you market it right. And they just...
I feel like they need to get to the points where they have the Roman versus Gunther, but they need to get the IC title off of Gunther first.
But why? You give Roman 2 belts.
Then why give him
Honestly,
3? You gotta break the belts back up again. I think having
they
belts,
do need to break the belts back up. I don't know how they're going to do it.
You don't right now, but...
The only thing I can think is like somehow, some way they pull shenanigans with Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
But...
Garmer says Solo beats Gunther? No.
I think Gunther drops the title by a triple threat.
Yeah, that's how you save.
And
you keep him safe by not taking a fall.
Where he does not get pinned.
Yep. 100%. He'll lose the belt by not taking the fall. 100%. That's how you do
The only
it.
problem I see is, though, where does he go from there, especially with Roman as champion? Because I don't see them, like you were saying, Travis, Gunther's not really marketable as he is. I wouldn't see him as the one to dethrone Roman. Would I love for him to dethrone him? Absolutely. but I don't see them.
I'm talking about if
that.
you're putting this on like a big fight feel. That's the guy I would do it. But that's just me
100%.
being a fan of somebody's work, not as a business on how you're going to sell some damn toys to kids.
That's what I'm saying.
Because if we're talking about
Gunther,
selling toys to kids, Cody Rhodes is the guy. I don't know how many times I've heard Kingdom by Downstate this week alone and last week alone from my kids on Alexa playing it over and over and over again. Like, he's won my kids over.
That. Old Atticus was super bummed that when Cody didn't win.
Yeah,
he was not happy.
So yeah, it's a business.
That's a good one. Right there.
You can't say we all were.
Oh, we can, and we'll get to that. That's our main event. Let's continue on, though.
What do you think of Miz taking the belt from Gunther?
Dear Lord,
no.
I mean, if he was the
what do you think about shutting the hell up, Rated?
No.
What an awful idea.
It wasn't his idea. He's Cody and Chad said that.
Yeah, Cody's the one that mentioned it.
Yeah, no.
Well, Cody, what about shutting the hell up?
There you go.
How about that?
Take 2 and call me in the morning.
I think Miz taking the belt would be fine, but I mean,
No,
he's
you
not
don't.
pitting.
You don't
He's not
think
pitting
that.
Gunther.
No.
Braun Breaker
hell
to
to the
dethrone
no.
Gunther, says Jackpot. No.
No,
Braun's not the
Jackpot.
guy. No.
Hey,
Not-
Jackpot, shut the hell up.
I'm saying it.
Braun or
Gunther is
Solo?
not
No.
getting. Gunther's not getting dethroned by getting pinned or submitted.
No. You have to basically hit the man with a bat.
I can almost see him. Well, no, because that wouldn't work either.
No.
I was going to say elimination chamber, but he'd have to get pinned there anyway. Unless they do what they did with Bronson Reed, but
No. Let's not talk about him. They've done him wrong too.
I think they.
Moving on.
Yes, they have done him wrong. He went to New Japan, and who did he face? Was it Okada?
Okada. He beat
He
Okada.
beats Okada, and he comes here as a jobber again? Come on.
He's not a jobber. They just don't give him matches. He beats everybody up.
He's a jobber.
He got paid by Miz.
Look, okay. We got more matches.
We do.
Yeah.
Coming up next, we have at 16:05 was the Raw Women's Championship. Bianca Belair defeating Asuka.
Meh.
Asuka should have won.
Yes,
One
Asuka
person
should have
won.
won.
I feel there was a botch there with the mist. I feel like the mist was supposed to hit because there was that surprise look on Bianca's face afterwards.
Like,
But I
Ron,
feel it
did you
was a
really
I
botch
don't
miss
think
there.
it was supposed to hit.
I think
I'm-
it was.
I just think that the match was kind of mediocre.
Yeah.
It was a very much.
Their problem was how good the women's match was the night before. This would never live
Yeah.
up to it, so you're comparing them.
Yeah,
100%
not
you're
really.
comparing them,
This
though.
match was.
I am comparing them.
The match was.
I'm not
The
gonna
match
lie
was
to you.
okay. Just Asuka not winning made no sense.
I got sold.
Yeah,
I just,
Asuka should have won.
I agree, because
Oh, yeah.
Asuka is now 0-5 at WrestleMania, if you want a quick statistic. 0-5.
But I feel like
She's
I
going
feel like
reverse
she
Undertaker.
she has that Sasha Banks curse where Sasha Banks could never defend a championship. Asuka could never win at WrestleMania.
But Asuka was unbeatable in NXT and came up and just
I know.
did
That was-
nothing.
And that's
I
NXT.
honestly-
That's like being undefeated in the minor leagues, though. Like, it doesn't count.
But why
Hey,
would you
yo.
build a talent to have them do nothing?
Because Vince.
No, Asuka is great.
Asuka is
Should
great.
be.
They've done the
I
double
do
match.
think Asuka's good.
Asuka back to
I've-
this.
I've said it once and I'll say it again. WWE does not know how to properly book their Japanese talent.
And Garmer,
Hey,
echoed that
yo.
sentiment in chat just now too. But I don't think it's a thing of just because you're Japanese, we're not going to book you. I don't
Well, no,
know
it's
what
not.
it
They
is.
They just suck at booking them.
Like that's
I don't think.
It's not that it's just because they're Japanese. It's just because they suck at booking them.
I mean,
I
they
mean,
suck at
Nakamura won the
booking.
Rumble.
Look. WWE sucks at booking a lot of people in general, right?
Yeah,
Like,
and it just so
Yeah.
happens that two of them are Japanese.
Well,
Nakamura
here's the
won
thing,
Royal
too.
Rumble, and then gave Styles the phenomenal ball arm.
And we'll get to it more, too, in the main event, but Cody Rhodes touched on this, too, with the Roman Reigns thing. How many years did they force feed that guy to us until, like, something finally clicked? You know what I mean? Like, they don't know how to book people. So, we got lucky with this gimmick. In all honesty, we got lucky with this one.
You're not wrong on that one.
Because that was his last leg. Like, I was never a fan of Roman until this gimmick. I'll tell you that much. All right.
I was a fan.
Where are we ranking this one?
Middle somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere lower middle.
All right.
Yeah,
so
low
middle,
mid.
like number 7 is Austin Theory Cena. Is it better than that or worse?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
better
better
than
than
that.
Austin Theory.
Is it better than the Street Profits?
No.
No.
So in between there, huh?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. That takes the number 7 spot. We got 3 matches left. Let's talk about these.
Matches.
So we get another Miz and Snoop Dogg segment.
Match.
Which was a triple threat match. Because originally it was supposed to be Shane O'Mac making a return.
Until he shattered his ankle or whatever.
His quads. He tore his quad.
Wait, did he actually tear his quads?
Yes,
he did. He has his dad's quads.
Yeah. So
I will never forget the
This
time
man
Vince
actually
came
tore
storming
his
down and
quads
just-
live on WrestleMania.
Garmer says it
That's
wasn't
the
a triple
thing.
threat. They started the match though. It was a triple threat.
No, it was a 2-on-1 handicap match.
Was it a 2-on-1 handicap?
I mean, to be fair, it probably was because Snoop Dogg wasn't going to kick Shane while he was down.
It ended by no contest. If you watch it back, they didn't ring the bell again though. The match kept going.
No, and then
Listen.
don't ever consider this a match, but watching how many people had to tell Snoop Dogg what to do repeatedly was hilarious.
Oh, the cameraman
can
said
honestly-
it. The
you
referee.
can hear the ref.
Yeah.
You can even hear the ref tell him, "Do the people's elbow. You got to do the people's elbow."
They did throw up
And
the
then
X comment.
after he did the people's elbow, the Miz literally, you can look at his face and like, pin me. Go for the pin.
I mean, they had to do something, right? It was a
I
stupid
think
segment to
Snoop was
begin
just
with.
so high.
But Cody says they
Travis,
called
had
it a
to
triple
do
threat.
something. Yeah, book Bobby Lashley.
We'll get to that too right after this because he should have been booked. But Bray Wyatt, what the hell?
I'm free both nights. I
Um,
think at
Free
first
both?
people were saying that Bray Wyatt just did one of his hissy fits and up and left. But then it came out that Bray Wyatt has some undisclosed illness.
dude,
So
I
don't know what's wrong with him.
I am a Bray Wyatt fan, as are you, Ty. We've had many of discussions of him. But like, at what point do we just fold our cards on him? And
I'm
just
not
It also
folding shit.
it could be
Let me tell
it could be storytelling. You know,
I'm not
Undisputed
folding shit.
theory.
Okay.
or
I hate to say it, but I think Bray is above WWE at this point.
above.
I-
What is
he's
above
creative.
WWE?
okay,
I just-
I'll say this,
What
think
is
he's
above
so
WWE
creative.
in wrestling?
I just think he's too talented for that place. Just too creative.
Where do you go?
Oh, don't say that, Cody. He's
Cinema,
not toxic.
cinema, probably.
Goes to
I
where?
just think his creativity, like movies, cinema,
I mean, yeah,
TV
sure.
shows. I just, I don't think he's got. I just don't think him and WWE can agree properly on like correct booking for him.
So you blame the company then? You shouldn't blame the talent.
No,
Or
I'm
do
not
you?
blaming.
No,
we're not-
I'm not.
Bray for anything.
I'm not blaming. I'm not
Bray-
blaming
He's
Bray
braying,
whatsoever.
he's braying that man. He's going to bray him.
He's blaming.
I'm not
He's
blaming
blaming-
Bray at all. I'm not blaming Bray at all. I just think creatively they can't come to a consensus.
And Cody is right in the sentiment too. It is toxic if you keep backing out over booking and decisions. It's the problem that Sasha Banks had. She took her ball and left.
Now, listen.
It's the problem with WCW and Hulk Hogan. It's the problem with so many things in that
I feel
company.
like it's not fair to label people toxic for wanting their character work respected. I think it's not toxic for people to back out of booking decisions that they find unfair. Because as we've talked about with people like Asuka and with Shinsuke, maybe if they stood up for themselves, they wouldn't get booked as poorly or not at all as they do now.
Listen,
they get booked less because they'd be out of a job.
Exactly, and I think this is the parallel and the comparisons made to CM Punk. You are under contract to do a job. It is your job to show up and do what you're told. That is your character. This is the material you're given. And guess what? If you don't like it, you will be out of a job and they will find somebody else. You are a cog in the big system that is WWE. I hate to say that, but that's the damn truth. There are hundreds of thousands of talents out there that will do that same job and some will do it better. Again, is it toxic? Yes, it is. To have a temper tantrum because of it. But I also do agree with you in some small regard. You're trying to protect a character that is near and dear to you. Yes, you should have that, but it should be written into your contract then. You should have some creative control. And if you don't, then it's your fault to signing that deal then. You can't just have a temper tantrum and leave over booking decisions.
I think it was signed into his contract too, though.
Then it's on the company then for doing him wrong. If we have that understanding and knowing of this, it is on the company, and then he is not being toxic.
We don't. As far as that goes, we don't know how much say he had in his own booking. But I do feel like it's. I don't know if he had a temper tantrum about it either. No. I feel like it all depends on how it went down. It's like if you feel like you don't want to do something, I feel like that's fair. If you end up without a job because of that, that's fair. It's just
the problem is when it starts to affect others. It potentially affected Bobby Lashley here, who is a former champion who now was left off the main card. He was thrown in a battle royal match just to present a trophy on stage, and that's it.
But we don't know if that is genuinely why.
This is all
removed from the card.
Right.
It's all speculation.
Right. Speculation, hypotheticals. We don't know the full truth, but that's why we present multiple scenarios and sides to it. And these are, of course, all subjective opinions. But
mine's the only one that matters, just so you know.
There you go.
Rob, you are being sued. I just wanted to inform you of that.
Okay. Will you come serve me in person?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Sweet.
So where do we rank Snoop Dogg doing the people's elbow to the Miz?
That doesn't even get a number. Like, that's how low it is.
Can we give it ranks above the first?
Is it above McAfee?
I think McAfee kicking Miz was better than Snoop Dogg being told, do the people's elbow in the Miz.
But it was funny, and I like Snoop Dogg.
It was funny.
We can all like Snoop Dogg. It still wasn't good.
Yeah. We can like Snoop Dogg. We can still say he's a crappy wrestler.
It's true. He ain't a wrestler.
Listen. It's like watching a terrible movie.
I'd rather
that's
see
wrestling, though.
I'd rather see McAfee just punt people. I just think it's more entertaining than Snoop Dogg.
Troy says Snoop smoked too many blunts during Mania. He has an excuse. When doesn't Snoop smoke blunts, though?
Snoop just smokes constantly.
He's just always
surprised
high.
He didn't have a blunt in his mouth while up there, with the
legally. I don't think he was allowed to.
Probably not.
Yeah, that's the only reason why.
I mean, because they were in California, so I'm pretty sure he legally can.
Yeah,
but with WWE, they don't. Why would they have Snoop Dogg out there being like, "What's up, bro?"
I mean, they used to have light a fatty for the Pimp Daddy for the Godfather. Like, come on.
But that was a different time.
It was a very different time.
There was kids. There was kids there.
There were kids there back then.
Can we move on to the next?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Because this is becoming absolute hell right now. Oh, wait. Hell in a Cell. You see that?
Yeah.
You're welcome. Edge. Brood Edge. Confusing. Brood Edge minus the Brood. And then...
You fanboyed out for a second, Trev. I'm just going to call you out on that one.
I did fanboy because I thought for a moment there we were getting what the rumors were saying about Christian getting lent out and Gangrel showing up. I was hyped for that. I was a big Brood fan.
That they
and then he came out by himself.
than his normal music is.
Listen, okay.
You think you know me?
Listen. My idea of the match was the entrances were the best part. I did not enjoy the color splash chairs and fucking kendo sticks. I did not I did not enjoy Finn Balor jumping off the conveniently placed shelf.
To be fair, that
I said the same thing to Trav, and he was like, "It's a camera stand. It's a cameraman stand."
It has
Trav
been there before.
That's a convenient placed shelf.
It's been there before in previous cells. Go back and watch them.
Okay.
Conveniently placed.
Of course, they're conveniently placed.
I know where I say it, but gotta call out Finn. It wasn't just dermabond. Like they stapled his forehead back together to finish that match.
Yeah, if you didn't know, he got hit in the head by a ladder shot. It required 15 staples during the match.
Was it 15? I thought it was
Finn should have won the match.
No!
Edge had no reason to win that match.
No.
Edge had no reason to win that match.
No,
he did because he's done this year. This is his last Mania.
Who cares?
I care!
Before anyone argues with Travis, he will always say Edge should have won. Doesn't matter who he's against.
It's true.
Edge should always win.
Travis,
the Demon already lost once. His reputation.
The Demon already
lost to God.
No, he lost to Roman.
I will say this.
No, he lost to God. They even made that clear.
The fucking turnbuckle just spontaneously combusted and ruined Finn's
thanks to God.
Yeah, it was a pretty bad booking. I tried to erase that one from my mind.
Yeah, like I said, Bálor lost to God.
I love how they tried to explain that as an accident.
Edge.
No.
Especially after all those injuries that Finn fought through to finish the match.
I mean,
especially after bringing out the Demon.
I think
after.
You could just run this match back again.
You know, I
wish
they had more time.
They do it all the time.
They do, but yes, Thunderbird says the match was indeed it was cut short. They were apparently planned for a 30-minute match. It came in 18:10. So the match got cut short. I mean, they almost called the damn match because the amount of blood that was gushing out of his skull. Like, that was a gnarly hit. And for them to continue, if this was not WrestleMania, that match would have stopped. Guaranteed. Yeah. That match would have stopped. But because of the hype of this match being Edge's last Mania and everything on the line for this,
who gives a shit?
I give a shit, man.
I care. Look, I actually do care that this Edge's last Mania.
I don't.
I'm saying this.
Edge needs to stop.
Theoretically, the storyline and for push, they needed Finn to win. I'm a fanboy of Edge, just like Travis is. And I love Edge, but I feel he needed to lose.
Honestly,
I agree. I like Edge. I think him coming back and ending his
because this just
gives
terms, a bigger push for the Judgment Day too.
Exactly. Yeah. Especially considering
Finn being the leader.
No,
Finn being the leader.
Yeah. I'm a bit. As you can probably gather, I feel like Judgment Day should have clean sweep at WrestleMania. But whatever, you know.
Yeah,
that's just me.
Cody says that Christian.
That is just you, Ty. It's okay.
I disagree with Christian. Is not better than Edge.
He's not better than Edge.
Christian is feuding with Tarzan Boy. Like, come on.
All right now.
Hey,
that'd be like the people that say that Matt Hardy's better than Jeff Hardy. It's not true.
Oh,
Christian is feuding with and putting over the future of wrestling, and Edge is burying the future of wrestling.
Finn Balor is not the future.
I mean, Balor had a chance. Balor had the chance, and they decided to freaking botch it.
You know, he was going into that match hurt too. Did you hear about that?
Finn
Balor, yeah. I think it was another reason why they had him lose. Balor's hurt beyond the stitches or staples.
Shut up, Garmer.
So, and yeah, Balor is like 40. He is not young. He's not the future. Balor is
he does have great abs though. Finn Balor does have great abs.
He took mine, so
guys.
That's why I don't have them. He took them.
How about we let me give delusional takes in peace? How about that?
Where
I
do we
feel like
rank
that
this
would be
match, though?
beneficial.
Because honestly, the match lost momentum because of the
Garbage.
injury.
Yes. I feel they should have had it to where they went outside of the cage as well, went to the top maybe.
Better than Street
I
Profits.
wanted to see somebody get put through the top of the cell.
That's what
It was better than the Street
You had a
Profits.
guy
though.
get
Better than
15
Street
staples
Profits.
and you wanted more?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Better than the Street
That was not part of it though. That
wasn't part of the
No.
match.
That was just he didn't block the ladder enough with his forearm and got hit in the
He
face.
sure didn't. I watched that back in
Yeah.
the day.
I
God
think-
damn.
So yeah, I think this takes number 6.
So this edges out the Profits, but not as good as Ray and Dom.
No, not even close to as good as Ray and Dom.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, might disagree, but I'll just allow it
All right.
for the sake of not
Yeah,
I
arguing.
think
You
it
should
was a
allow
little
it.
bit.
So
I think it was a little bit better, but
Yeah, you're crazy, but that's
I
okay.
feel that if they would have actually got
I think it was better than Ray
moved
and
back
Dom,
together
but
for the
that's-
entrance, it would have been
Y'all are insane. Talk about something that was top 5. Please go to bed. Please go
I
to
think
bed.
it was top 5.
Armor goes there.
I agree with you, Garmer. I agree.
Armor, it's past your bedtime.
So, the disappointing factor, though, I don't know where the rumor came from, but I wish Christian and Gangrel would have showed up.
Yes.
I'll say it over and over again. I'm
That
a
would
huge
have been
Edge fan.
so
He
much
is one of my all-time favorites. I thanks to Wicked, a.k.a. Herman, I have a custom Edge Championship belt. That is the crown jewel, if you will, of my wrestling collection.
Edge still should have lost.
No.
If anybody-
I agree.
Everybody
We all
needs to
agree.
follow on Facebook. Every year when the anniversary comes up, I repost the photo from when Edge cashed in and won the title. We were at Grand Valley at college, and I have a photo of him on his knees crying with his arms in the air because
Fuck
Edge
yeah,
won.
dude. The very first Money in the Bank cash in.
That is
My
so
dude.
adorable.
That's
My
great.
dude.
Oh,
And I
we
repost
wanted
it every year.
Christian and Grangal just to have that Brood entrance again because it was rumored, and we were excited for that.
Yeah, I
was a
wanted that
dope
moment.
entrance.
Knowing that when he goes to Toronto, that's possibly his last match ever, and I'm just not ready for that. He's going to be 50 this year, I think. I'm just not ready for
Yeah,
this.
and he's getting wins over Finn Balor.
And
Stop
Balor
it.
should have won.
He should. Like, Finn Balor's old too, Ty. It's okay, man. It's
Balor's
okay.
younger.
40 is old? 40 is old?
It's older than me, so it's old. Okay? That's how that works.
This match was just, instead of it being Hell in a Cell, it was elderly abuse in a cell.
Damn.
No,
Cody says
that was
Jericho's
L in a
52
cell
and
right
still
there.
going. Dude, I wouldn't
This is
say
true.
Jericho is still going.
Yeah, I love Jericho too, and he's not still going. He's just
Yeah.
there.
He's existing.
He keeps an oxygen tank.
I'm
Come
a
on, y'all,
huge
we're
Jericho
close to making
fan.
this.
But
We're
he's
close to making this 2-hour mark that Travis wanted to make.
We are, and we're on the last match, so we're good. We're good.
Oh,
all right.
We're good. Speaking
This will
of
be the last 15 minutes.
or more, the main event of WrestleMania 39, 2-night, 8-hour-long affair comes to a conclusion with 34 minutes and 35 seconds of just stuff we've seen before and again, and it pissed the world off, and I really collectively enjoyed this. And I posted a poll. Let me see what the end results ended up being. So on our social media page, the poll right now, I asked the question, who should have won in the main event, Roman Reigns or Cody Rhodes? We received 42 votes, 11 for Roman Reigns and 31 for Cody Rhodes. And collectively, people were pissed saying it was the wrong move.
It was
That's
the
not the wrong move.
No, it wasn't, though.
Yes, it was.
Why?
Why
Do you ever
build
think
his
that
ass
Triple
up
H
this much
or
before-
Vince McMahon
Hold on.
ever forget that he crushed Triple H's throne
Regardless of
in
that,
AEW?
regardless of
Who
that.
cares?
Yeah, that's a point, but no, DC.
You built,
Let's hear it.
Like, you built this man up for this long, for over the past year. Cody has been getting built up and built up and built up just for him to get beat his ass kicked by the Bloodline.
You got a sucker in the mail.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. On purpose, because it'll piss you off.
Yep.
And
You're
let
going
me
to come
tell you
back and
something.
watch it next week.
And let me tell you something. That's food for the bloodline.
Also,
But listen,
I will
though,
say
on a
this.
serious note. Oh, you were gonna?
Okay.
You can go ahead.
okay, I was going to say, here's the
Said on a
thing.
serious note, and then everybody
Yeah, he
stopped talking to let you make
he
your
had nothing
serious
worse.
note.
So,
I'm tired of Roman as champion.
right,
I
but
want
now's not the
something
time.
else.
It's not time yet because you know
It
what time it is?
was WrestleMania.
Not everything has to happen at
It's not the
WrestleMania,
time
though.
yet.
But
It's
what
not-
are they gonna do in Backlash?
Why not?
Oh,
Listen,
Because
Listen,
Backlash
okay.
is a mid-card pay-per-view.
listen.
SummerSlam.
You're a mid-card pay-per-view.
Oh,
Here's my
Mid-card
opinion.
Card.
Here's my opinion,
Hi,
guys.
Rob, you can't
And
even
it may
spell
be-
mid-card pay-per-view.
I can. Do you
It
want
may
me
be-
to? Like,
It may be an unpopular opinion, but in my opinion, Cody Rhodes should have never been the guy to begin with.
Your
He
opinion
should have
sucks.
never been the guy to beat Roman Reigns to begin with. And here's why. Everyone always wants to bring up the argument of why aren't we using WWE talents, people who have been there day in, day out working to become champions.
yeah, we had to
become
go
main
steal
eventers.
from AEW
Why?
now.
Right? Why aren't we using them? Why would we bring in someone from AEW? They beat the guy that's been the guy for 3 years, and then that's it. I don't think that's fair.
But then who
I don't think
beats
that's
them?
fair.
Jey
Roman has
Uso?
beaten everyone interesting so
No,
far.
Jey
But
Uso
Jey
is not
Uso
the
would
guy.
be a good.
Jey Uso's
I
not.
will
the guy.
argue
Get
it
outta
would
here.
be a
I
good
just gotta say
choice.
yes, too. Look,
I will
I'm
argue
gonna
with
say
DC
this.
on this. That they haven't been building him up to beat Roman for a year because his first 3 were against Seth.
Then he was
That wasn't-
injured. That didn't help.
That helped him. That was what made people like him, was because he came out with his busted
That's
off
not why.
chest.
No.
And everybody loved him, and he was the baby face.
No. People
Seth
like him
Rollins
for a
does
couple
deserve to
reasons
be
and a
the
couple
one.
reasons only. People like Cody Rhodes because of his damn entrance music. People like Cody Rhodes because he defected from AEW back to WWE. So it was a, haha, we got you now, AEW losers. Or what is it, AELs?
No, it really wasn't.
No, it was 100% that. I read the same internet
It
you guys
was.
do.
No, I'm like, it was. That's exactly what people were saying, but I really don't feel like that's the case. I feel like once Cody Rhodes is done winning the WWE Championship and, oh, the son of a plumber has become the world champion, then he's going to go to
He's
AEW.
the grandson
and
of a
get
plumber.
contract.
He's not
Grandson
going
of
to
a
go
plumber.
back to AEW.
Whatever the hell.
Well, I'm gonna say this.
He's going
They'll
back to
take him back.
He's
AEW.
not going back.
They'll take him
He's
back.
going back.
For why, though? That company is not doing so great.
To win the world title.
No, but nobody cares. Look at the idiot they have over there now as champion.
MJF is great.
No, he's lazy.
No, he's not.
No, he's not. I think he's great.
He's a boring
Okay,
one-dimensional
I'm gonna-
heel.
Is one dimensional. I'm gonna say this.
I'll agree. He's
I knew-
one-dimensional, but I like it.
I
mean,
knew going
go
into
ahead.
Cody
this
Rhodes
that Roman was gonna win.
It's not the guy
You
to
want
beat
Cody to
Roman
win?
Reigns.
Yes,
Ever.
but Roman. I
But
knew
then
was
who's
win
going to
because
beat him?
There's a longevity to this whole story.
This
That's
is
the
a long
thing.
story.
Right.
This is
I'm
because
just
here's
tired
the
of-
phase we're entering. This is what the fans are failing to recognize. You know what we're in right now? What times we're in? Hard times. We're in hard times.
Shut the hell up.
I
But
pay
that's what this
attention.
is. That's what they're doing.
Cody, I don't even watch.
I
WWE.
don't
I
want.
watch highlights, so shut it. I watch YouTube highlights.
Let me tell you something right now. I don't want to see the day where a man dressed like Christopher Columbus gone Super Saiyan is my WWE champion. I don't want to see the day. I don't want to see the day.
I
where
just
Fourth-
want to see
Mr.
the day
4th of
where
July
Roman Reigns is
himself-
not holding the WWE title.
Shut the hell up! Don't disrespect.
That's not going to
me
happen
like
for a
that.
while, man.
Yeah,
I know that.
my
It
trouble.
pisses me off.
Listen,
You listen, adrenaline in your soul.
yeah, I don't want to see the day
Something,
where 4th of
something,
July
Cody
as a
Rhodes.
human being becomes the.
The 4th of July is
You know, as a company, though, and I'm going to circle back to what I said earlier. Cody Rhodes is an enormous merch mover right now for the company. Enormous merch mover. Why don't they put the belt on him? And in all honesty, we've had far worse champions over the years. We really have. So why not give him the belt and then have him drop it? You know,
I can't wait for Jinder Mahal to throw Roman Reigns.
So Travis, if he wins the belt, where do you go from there?
But that's also the question. Where do you go from there, right? That is the big question.
Gunther.
Here's the one thing.
Have Gunther kick his ass and then take the belt off of him.
Here's one thing that has been consistent for like the last 3 years since Roman has been the champion. Pay-per-views are basically sold out.
But you gotta move on eventually.
Right, but not
so
now.
So are you trying to say that when they had Bruno, I can't say his last name.
Bruno Sammartino. That was a different time, though. They didn't have weekly television. Okay, so
listen,
you can't make that.
No, but I'm just saying. No. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying. He held the title for almost 1,100 days or whatever. More, I can't remember.
But like 15 years.
Yeah, he held it for a while. I think it was like 2,000 days.
It was almost a decade. I think it was.
Oh, it's like.
Look, dude.
Did anyone complain back then? No.
That's because nobody in Tennessee knew about it.
There were no dirt sheets back then or the internet.
No.
Wrestling, dude, here's the thing. If anything's been consistent in the world of wrestling, it's been its fickle and complaining, whiny-ass fans.
Mm-hmm.
It's been that's always been a constant. When fans can't figure something out or if they don't agree with the outcome, they do a podcast on a Monday night and bitch about it for 2 hours.
Damn straight we do.
Roman Reigns is the guy for a reason.
Garmer, why does Roman have to win clean when he is the perfect heel?
Yeah.
Why does he have to win clean? And
I don't disagree that Roman's the guy. I'm just like, I'm at the point where I'm just tired of seeing him as champion. I'm ready for someone new.
But that's why he's going to stay champion because people
will keep watching, and then when he loses, you're going to be happy. It was the same thing in the heel Triple H era in the early 2000s. I hated Triple H during that. Evolution, loved the faction, the storyline, but damn it, Triple H always winning at the fucking pay-per-views pissed me off, and I had to go watch that because it might be the one where he lost finally. It's working, and it's still working.
True.
Yeah.
This is true.
They got you, man. They got us.
Yeah.
Had Paul Heyman. Heyman would distract the ref.
Look, dude. Mr. Memorial Day is not the guy to beat the Tribal.
What the fuck?
Mr. Memorial Day.
I hate to say it. I truly think they're waiting not for Mania, but Madison Square Garden. That's been referenced way too many times for him to not win it.
I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it.
I don't think it matters what you want to see, though.
Come on, Ty. Where's the next nickname?
Cody Rhodes wins, and then what? We have a fucking cookout. I don't want to see that.
I don't know.
We'll have his Independence Day fireworks show.
And Garmer asked, what's the show at Madison Square Garden? I don't know. I don't know when the next one is, and I'm sure they'll do a special event for Memorial Day, man. Whatever you want to call him. And Cody keeps saying Seth is the guy. Why is Seth the guy? He had his time. He had his moment. Why does he need to be...
We'll only ever see Cody Rhodes defend his championship on the 4th of July, Memorial Day. Fucking Veterans Day. That's the only time he'll defend his title.
I don't know.
Oh, and
Seth just wants him to win so he can buy the championship belt with the, flag skull.
Who?
On it. You want Cody to win so you can buy his championship belt with the flag skull on it.
Me? No, I don't want that belt.
Yes, you do. You want
it. I'm good at that.
Roman should retire with the belt.
I swear to God.
I mean, sure, why not? But Garmer, I agree with Garmer. I want it to be Gunther. That would be cool, but it's not going to be.
Is that Yuri?
I don't know. He thought he said he wasn't going to be on. Yuri, you're going to be on? He's going to add his insight for the last 2 seconds.
I swear to God, who said it? If Orton would be the one to dethrone him.
Oh,
no.
I said that.
No.
No.
Not Orton. People are speculating The Rock. They wanted The Rock for next year's Mania for 40.
If The Rock,
that's an awful idea too.
If The Rock dethrones Roman Reigns,
that's as awful as having The Rock beat Cena for the belt.
Yes. Watch, Cody will do it next year for the twice in a lifetime.
Oh God, not twice in a lifetime.
Cody Rhodes is not taking that belt.
Jey
Mark my
Uso,
words.
No.
baby. Yeah.
Jey Uso is not taking the belt.
Why?
I would like to
That's
see
gonna be
Jey
Solo.
Uso take the belt.
Solo's
I would
gonna
like
be
to see
throwing him.
Jey Uso take the
That's
belt more
Solo.
than.
Just turn Shinsuke Nakamura heel again and have him give him the
Not
phenomenal ball.
Shinsuke. No.
No, just have him hit him in the nuts.
No.
Okay, Travis, who
Yes.
Vicky Guerrero.
Say it again, Rated.
I can't
would
wait.
you like to see beat Roman for the title?
Edge.
Oh my god.
Of course you would like to see
Shut your
Edge.
damn mouth.
Edge literally
worse-
looks like a meth head.
In
That
all
is worse
honesty,
than
do you want my
saying Jey
honest?
Uso.
All right, time out. Do you want my honest answer? Who do I think should?
Yes.
I think from a
Uso.
business standpoint, for the payoff of this storyline, you do have Cody Rhodes beat him.
Ew.
No, I honestly though, that's the
It's
story you
business.
fulfill. It's business, and if you don't end that story with him finally doing it, you did this wrong. I think. So I
You brought
truly
him back for a cheap pop.
100-bit donation from Ray to hip hip.
Hooray.
Thank you for that.
Hooray.
sir. And it's not even the cheap pop. I just think to do this story and legacy for Dusty right, you do it with Cody winning.
Yeah.
And it doesn't need
Otherwise,
to be
it's
at Mania.
pointless.
Everybody has this
Legacy
idea
does.
that everything big has to happen at Mania. But
No, it doesn't.
And no, not Kenny
do it.
Omega, Cody. Jesus.
Look. Everyone.
That would be
wants
the
everything
worst
to happen at
decision ever.
Mania. There are all of the pay-per-views
Listen.
that
Gonna be
WWE has.
Kazuchika
There are three big pay-per-views that WWE always has.
4.
Mania, obviously number 1. Royal Rumble and SummerSlam.
You're forgetting
Other
Survivor Series.
pay-per-view. Well, in Survivor Series, yes.
Yeah.
Those four main pay-per-views.
So here's the
Those
thing:
are the
you do
four
it this
where
summer
he
at
can lose them.
SummerSlam. Then I don't care
I
when
mean,
they
That would
do
be
It would be
okay.
perfect.
Doing it at SummerSlam, I would be fine with.
it. Right.
I mean, all of you Cody Rhodes fans, SummerSlam seems like the perfect place for him to take the title, right? Think of it. The headline is Captain Cookout defeats the Tribal Chief at SummerSlam.
Ty, where are you coming up with this shit?
Good Lord.
That's just time.
Oh my
And look at this too. We know there are fans of his because look at how many Cody Vader entrances we have for NAW and other leagues everywhere.
You're the only one with the Cody Vader, all right?
god. Yeah.
Your updates 7 through 42 had them.
Oh, after I learned that you had it, I took it off.
7 through 42.
Oh, man.
All right.
It was
So
1 through 7. I had it.
So, in conclusion, this match was great. I think it had the right outcome. A shady finish to get
Outcome.
people talking and still talking. It brought this damn podcast back from the dead.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we were dead. What are you talking about?
It was pretty good.
I say this
was
ranks
good.
at 3.
Do you think it's 3?
Well,
Yes.
what was number 3?
You know what?
Number 3
I
was Gunther.
actually agree.
No,
Number
this is
3
not
is
better than
Gunther.
Gunther.
All right, now you're delusional. This was better than Gunther.
That match was better.
I think
No.
this was. All right, hear me
wanna
out.
see
I think
big
this is
meaty
better
man
than
smacking
Kevin Owens
meat.
and Sammy. I think this is number 2.
All right,
You
now
don't
you're
think
tripping.
So.
This
No,
was number 3.
This is
I
true.
like
nothing.
big
Nothing.
meat.
Obviously, number 1 is untouchable. Rhea versus Flair is number 1. That's
Yes.
untouchable.
All right.
This is true.
AO and Sammy versus the Usos. It needed to happen. It was a great tag match. Not the greatest.
Can we
but
do
it
like
was
a number
good.
2A and number 2B? Like they're kind of.
Nope.
No.
I say this is number 3. This was
I
way
say
better
it's
than
number
Gunther.
4.
I could get behind
I think-
3, but I truly think it's number 2 for me.
I think it's better than. I think Gunther was better.
I think it's number 3. Honestly, I feel like it could go for number 1, but nobody wants to talk about that.
No.
Because
Not
nobody's going to
better
agree
for
with
It's
that.
not
I'm
number
sorry.
1.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ty.
I feel like it could go for number 1 just for the memes because it is so
No.
funny seeing people so angry that Cody Rhodes didn't win the title and ride off
Like he
into the
should've.
sunset on a giant
yes,
ball.
yes.
Yeah,
So,
we got
yes,
the classic.
that
I'm never
is-
watching this shit again. Like,
That is
please.
a great point, Ty, but at the same time, match-wise, it was not as great as Rhea versus Flair.
It was not.
I think
And
Gunther was better.
That's why I said
match-wise.
just. That's why I said just for the meme.
You could go die on that
honestly.
hill.
All right, so
See.
final.
I
Let's go
will.
one by one
I
and,
will
and
tell.
see which each individual says. Rob.
What are we talking about?
Oh my
Where
god.
do you
I was
wanna rank
watching.
Where would you put
Where
it?
do I rank it?
Yes. Jesus Christ. Why are you here?
I got distracted by the dude putting his little mini belts on the screen.
That's Wolfie.
Yeah, that's fucking Wolf. He's just here doing random shit.
First, he showed us his. He
So
showed us
as third. That's
All
where I
right.
put it.
3. DC.
below Gunther.
So 4.
Yeah.
Rated.
3.
Okay. Ty.
3.
I would say 2, but I think on average it's 3.
Mm-hmm.
So there you have it. We have officially ranked.
Can you hear Yuri, Trev?
No, I
No.
can't hear him.
I can't hear Yuri either.
I can hear him. He's like he's upset because you completely ignored him. Like didn't even acknowledge
Because
he
I
was
can't
here.
hear him. I don't know.
I can't hear
I can't hear him either.
This is why
Yuri, hold.
So
Yuri,
this is
hold
why
up
I
on
said,
the
hey, if
counter.
you plan on joining, let me know so I can have it configured not during the
Yuri,
live
you put-
podcast.
Yuri put it at
So
3.
Yuri's picking 3. So
Yuri,
there you go.
no, that's a 4. Yuri put it as 4.
That was a 3. That was a 3.
3.
No, that's
That's a
4.
3.
The other finger's up.
That's a
I can
middle
see it.
finger.
He said we can't do this. We got to do it in Zoom. Dude, this works for
Zoom.
us. I don't know why anybody else is having problems.
What is that?
Yeah.
Zoom? What are you talking about? What is this?
Yeah, I don't know.
What is
This ain't
class?
fucking school.
We're in school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
I also want to point out a fun stat. This gave Gunther his 5th 5-star match in WWE. And there's only been 6 5-star matches over the last 15 years, and 5 of them were for Gunther.
Everyone else needs to get on his level.
Apparently.
I'm not saying Gunther isn't, top material, but I'm just saying match-wise,
I think
based off
match-wise
the-
it was better. That's
No.
just me, though.
Yeah. They
You
did
can
an
be wrong,
attendance
DC. It's
of,
okay. It's
I
okay.
don't care. I'm a big fan of the ring head.
They did over 180,000 attendance. I think the stats were 160 or 180 over the 2 nights.
I think it was 181.
Yeah, something like that. And it
Yeah.
was obviously repeated people. I don't know if it's the same people. DKA was in attendance from our community. They had
kept
live
it.
performances by Lil Uzi Vert. What was her name? Becky G. Who else was a guest artist?
Zoom is basically like
No
the
one
new
likes Lil
fashion.
Uzi Vert. His music is
Just
trash.
Is it?
I'm
Just
sad.
go to Zoom.
I'm sad we didn't
I've
get a
never heard of him.
performance
I didn't have no idea who that
I'm
person
sad
is.
we didn't
No
get
idea.
a performance by Hardy. Everyone loves
the
Hardy.
Hardy performance. Jeez, that was rough.
Ever.
I mean, overall, this was a good WrestleMania. I'm gonna say I enjoyed both nights. There
Both
were
nights?
some. I enjoyed both nights.
I enjoyed both nights.
Yeah.
I did too.
I enjoyed night 1, and night
Night
2
one-
was a shit ton of wrong winners.
Yeah.
Night 1 was obviously better, but night 2 was still pretty good.
Yeah.
Did they choose
Roman
wrong
Reigns.
winners? Yes, but
If night 1 wouldn't have existed, we would have all been super happy with night 2.
exactly.
Shut up.
Yeah, and honestly,
I-
yeah. Any other parting thoughts before we depart from the Nerds of Wrestling
Remember,
podcast
she's a
return
teacher.
here?
How's the finger, Wolfie?
I can't hear him if he's talking. So,
He's not talking.
It's
He's
a
just
good
waving.
thing we can't hear him, honestly.
so if you all
I can't
enjoyed
hear nor
this
see
and
him.
you want to see us do this kind of stuff again,
Hey, slipping this off. What the hell?
I can't see him. If you guys enjoyed this kind of
His
stuff,
finger.
we'll do this again. If you want, maybe we can review pay-per-views after them like this. After DC does the watch along, like a week later, we give it time to digest, and then we do it like this again. We can also do retro reviews too. If there's like an old pay-per-view you want us all to watch and then come together and talk about, we could try to incentivize that somehow and figure out a way to do that. If this is content that interests you, let us know, because we want to put out content that interests you, not content that you're not really into. Let us know though. Jackpot says retro.
The first Nitro at Mall of America?
Like the first Nitro at Mall of America. So we could watch a pay-per-view together. We could find a way how to do that on Discord without violating some sort of terms of service or things like that.
On Discord, you can watch with no issue.
So if it's allowed, whatever. I don't want to break any things that gets banned.
On Discord, you can sit there and screen share anything.
So we'll do that, and then we'll plan a podcast. But if you want this more frequently, let it be known. Talk about the things you like. Give us ideas. And again, we can figure out the guest things ahead of time, please. Because I don't know what the hell happened for half of you working and the other half not tonight. I don't know.
I was working, so that's all that matters. Everybody
just a quick thing. If we go,
and I'd rather not troubleshoot during the show.
Get back.
So,
yo, bye.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
I gotta answer the door real quick.
I work.
In case I'm not back in time.
But yes, this has been the Nerds of Wrestling. For all the guests that came in trying to get it to work, I apologize. But for all the ones that we did get it to work, I appreciate you all in the conversation. I will be posting probably tomorrow the ranking in the description of this. This will be also available on our YouTube channel for those that may have missed it or came in partway through. We're also going to be on Google, Apple, and Spotify with this, by the way. So look for that in the coming days.
Oh, shit.
So yeah, I'll be exporting and getting it on those services. So if you missed it, we have a ton of archive content. If you're on Google, Apple, or Spotify that you can listen to during your workday, might be easier than watching videos. Listening to stuff could be also entertaining. So
we'll be internet famous.
I think next time though, we definitely need to organize this and be like, okay, one at a time, not all at once.
I think it's just
that
practice.
Doesn't work.
Yeah, I think it's the practice of doing it more and getting familiar with your co-hosts, right? That comes in time.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we'll figure this out. And again,
you said what?
I did. But thank you all for being a part of this. Nerds of Wrestling has been a long-standing program, and it is back. And I hope we get to do more of these with you all. I love talking wrestling, and I feel like all of us here have a lot more that we can offer as far as our knowledge and passion for this whole industry. But other than that, thank you all. And I'll see you on the next one. Good night, everybody. Yes! What the heck?
420 has earned a spin the wheel entry.